like, you just kind of got to figure it out. Like, Matt Pajeski, who is wonderful, is
I do Pajeski.
No, he's the one trying to explain it to me, and I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I wish I had an email or something to reference, but I think that might be.
I love Rach. She's the most.
Now they have it.
She's the most low-key, essy person on the show. Like, it'd sure be nice if I had an email
Well, it's just the kind of thing where it's like, hey, people will figure it out by word of mouth over the course of 15 days. And it's like, or like,
and also
whoever changed the entire thing could just tell everyone
something's
at once.
crossed, by the way, because the thing that's not supposed to be signed in here at this station, like this one used to be it, I just turned that mic, unmuted that mic, and that's what put it on. So I don't know if there's something crossed that isn't supposed to be there.
You might also recall us saying that things were different on Friday, because it was. And then somehow between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and now Monday, things have changed. Every day, something is different.
We have a leprechaun.
And, well, we have people who are adjusting settings and then not,
it's his birthday.
As Rachel said, relying on like fun word of mouth. To figure out how to do this like very important station function.
Got to play a game of telephone.
Well, for those of you on the stream, you didn't get to hear that. Yesterday was Wheeler's birthday, and my son Nick got engaged over the weekend to his girlfriend Bree, and that's what we were talking about.
So, very cool stuff.
Yes. And then Nick was nervous like Don Knotts, and that's why she figured it out.
So, okay, I'm curious. What is it like to propose to a lady? Because the guys always say that they get so nervous, and it's like, well, you know she's gonna say yes, so why are you so nervous?
I have never been more nervous in my entire life than when I proposed to Megan. If you look at the pictures on Facebook,
so many times they just run together.
If you look at the pictures of me proposing to my wife, I am red-faced and drenched in sweat. It was not in a warm place. I was just so nervous that I could not stop. I was flop sweating the entire time.
But like, why were you so nervous? What could you trace it back to?
Knowing that she's going to remember this for the rest of her life, and that it's a very, very important moment in her life, and knowing that I just really, really didn't want to do anything stupid and screw it up. I didn't want to
Also, let's be
I didn't
clear.
want to pratfall and slide backwards and go, whoa!
Back in my day, and Wheeler's day, if you took someone to the Sizzler, like that was...
I was like, the expectations were different.
Tall cotton.
Yeah.
Now you have to have like a production of the Odyssey going on. And
and I didn't have to. I did do kind of a production. I didn't have to, but I wanted it to. I knew that she would want it to be special, and so I wanted it to be special for her. And that's what the sweating, thus the flop sweating.
Thus. Do you guys remember, I don't know, a month or so ago when we had the debate about what you do when you find money? And if you find it laying in a field or you find it in a wallet and all that stuff, I flagged this story for us. A woman got into trouble with the police after pocketing an abandoned $20 bill at Walmart. So the story is she's checking out, and there's a $20 bill laying there. And she looks around.
Where, on the ground?
Yeah, and there's no one around. And the person who checked out before her is long gone. And so she put it in her pocket. Later, someone came back and said, hey, I think I dropped a $20 bill. And they looked at the film and saw her and arrested her.
That's ridiculous.
Because in Pennsylvania, if money is left on the ground or anywhere else, it's a crime if you take it without making a reasonable attempt to find the owner.
What's reasonable?
So there's no finders keepers in Pennsylvania.
But what's reasonable? Like, you have to run out. You have to run out the door and see, hey, did anybody lose a 20? And then how do you know that person's not lying to you?
Yeah.
If somebody yells, hey, did you lose any money? I'm going to be like, yeah. What was it? I don't know.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You should not. Also, you shouldn't be arrested over $20.
Agree.
Like, that could be a ticket or something. Like, hey, you did a bad thing. Here's a ticket.
Yeah.
You're arrested for $20 laying on the ground.
Sorry, but you have to spend life in prison now.
I mean,
we did the wrong thing.
We got people that like conned people out of their life savings that don't go to get arrested.
I was telling these guys, Saturday was great. Nick got engaged to Bree. We had a party, and it was just big excitement. Phoebe came home early. It was great. And then yesterday was a different kind of day. Yesterday, I didn't leave the house. I barely got off the couch. And I am not exaggerating. I told these guys at lunch today, I'm not exaggerating. I watched TikTok and cried for 5 hours. Because you guys have met me. I'm Scottish. I cry 3 times a week on the show. But I was watching like kindness videos. And there's this guy, I think in LA, that goes around and he gives homeless people a makeover. And then this guy in London who takes bouquets around and gives them to old ladies. I'm bawling. I'm just sitting there crying, and I'm hatching my plan to quit this job and just go buy a bunch of bouquets. It was just, is there something wrong with me? Like, is that normal to just lay and cry on your couch for 5 hours watching TikTok?
Well, this is not the first time like you've described doing something like this before. I think sometimes it just feels good to cry. Like if you haven't cried in a long time, if you haven't had a release in a long time, I mean, that's why people like watching like romance movies and what have you, right? So you can cry at the end. So
yeah,
I think it's probably pretty normal.
I filled my cry quotient. Then I started getting a bunch of TikToks of graves. I guess TikTok's like, this guy's a sap. And
hey, turn it up.
They were celebrity graves. And one of them was Chuck Connors, the rifleman.
Yeah.
And I went to get rid of it with my thumb because, and I guess I hesitated too long and it gave it a heart.
Fave, heart, repost, bookmark.
Oh, so now you're getting grave videos.
Sent to all friends.
Yes, now I'm getting everybody's grave.
When I first got on TikTok, I followed this grave account of this woman who would go out and like deep clean the tombstone. And
I know her.
Do like a little, like sometimes she would like look up who the person was and tell about their life. It was very interesting.
The other one I got was how the 8 places you hit a guy with a stick.
If you want to take him down?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
And I thought,
that's a Wheeler video.
How specific.
Yeah.
Like if I ever find myself in a street fight, but I'm holding a broomstick and I'm like, I know the top 8 places.
I get all of those kind of things. Probably because I watch them.
How are your weekends?
Good.
Oh, not that good though, right?
It was good.
It's fine for you.
It was, yeah. I mean, I don't want to go into things, but I went out.
You shouldn't have put it on the Google Doc.
No, I was just gonna say that I went out, and I don't recommend it. Okay. Going out sucks.
Fine.
Going out sucks. A big time bummer. Everybody else is having so much fun, and I keep leaning over to everybody and being like, when do you think you guys might want to leave?
Now, was that it's wrapping up?
Was that yeah? More people than ever at Tim's Chrome Bar. That is like the music is going. The DJ's just started. The dance floor has opened up, and I'm like, well, it kind of seems like maybe it's at the end of the night around here.
I think
Last call.
Weekend Update is about to start. If you guys want to try to make it home for that.
So is that reaction? Was that because just being out generally is annoying because it's just stuff?
I'm just not a big
night was annoying.
No, that night was wonderful.
Okay,
we went out with some friends. We had a night. We really did have a great time. Even me, even though the whole time I'm like, tapping my fake watch, like, boy, howdy. Oh, it sure is dark outside.
Look at the hour. It's 6:30.
You're right. It's 9:15. You guys. But
that was a great noise.
I'm just not really like a bar guy. You know what I mean? Now, these bars aren't. We went to Silver Ballroom and then we went to Tim's Chrome Bar. They're fun. They're cool bars. I love that we have so many like cool and interesting bars in St. Louis. Feels like especially in the last like 10, 15 years, these really neat places have started to pop up. And I think that's really cool that we have those.
Yeah.
I prefer to admire them from afar.
Yeah.
When there's too many people.
Just know they're there.
Yeah. Well, there's too many people in a small room. I start to get real itchy,
I feel like if I went out like till 2 or 3 in the morning and really tied one on, it's not that I would fear a hangover or doing something stupid. I would literally think that the earth would crack and gargoyles would come out. Like, it just seems so foreign to me.
It's a very, if you don't do it all the time, which I do it very rarely, doing it feels very odd.
Yeah.
And then you start to like look around, you start to think of like people like, oh, I bet a lot of these people are here every Saturday. They're like, this is just what they do. And they love it. And I think that's valid. I think you're allowed to love it, but it's very strange.
Yeah. I'll be
Feels very strange.
texting with Phoebe on the weekend sometimes. And it's like 9:45 and I'm, have been in bed for half an hour. And she's like, yeah, the girls came over, getting ready to go out.
Just getting ready to go out. Yeah.
Crazy. Tell you guys about my friend John Moriarty at E3 Wealth. Just to make this really simple, learn from my mistakes. I've done well in life, but I've been really stupid about getting financial help. I think I don't know why. I was embarrassed somehow. I was spending too much, or I hadn't saved enough or something. Just the younger you are, as I understand it, and I'm no financial person or math person, but the longer you invest is as important or more than the amount that you invest and just keeping it in the compound interest. John Moriarty can do that for you if you're an individual, if you're a family, and you're concerned about your retirement or putting something away for college or weddings or things like that. But what he really loves doing, what he's really great at, is working with business owners and entrepreneurs, because like a W-2 employee like me, there's like 3 things I can do to avoid taxes. If you are a business owner or an entrepreneur, there are like 3,000 things you can do, and John knows them all. If you want to get his new book, The Entrepreneur Playbook, it's out on Amazon. When you want to talk to John, go to e3wealth.com.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
To generations of hockey fans in North America, Dan Kelly wasn't just a broadcaster. He was the sound of St. Louis Blues hockey. His crisp, powerful play-by-play on KMOX brought the speed, passion, and intensity of the game into homes across the continent. Carried far and wide by the station's booming nighttime signal, Kelly's calls became part of St. Louis sports history.
Hello, everyone. This is Dan Kelly, inviting you to sit back and enjoy with me the thrilling memories of the St. Louis Blues.
Harvey can't find it. Clears it over for McCreary. McCreary out to Sabrin. Sabrin right in. He scores!
Whether calling the Blues, Cardinals, or Mizzou, Dan Kelly's voice set the standard for excellence and cemented his place among the greatest in the game. Dan Kelly, a KMOX pioneer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
This is Senator Eric Schmidt congratulating KMOX and its 50,000 red hot watts on 100 years on the air in St. Louis.
$123 DJS on KMOX. Happy Monday. So we are out Thanksgiving and Friday. We know what they're doing on Friday. Is there a football game or something? I guess we don't care since we're not going to be here.
Yeah,
I've got the schedule.
Not 100%, but I do think it is football.
Football on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Friday will be special at your service presentations.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think Brad is actually hosting one of those.
Oh, you're good. Have you guys seen this company called I Wool Survive?
No.
Get this. It is a company that sells sweaters made from the wool of gay sheep.
Oh, why do they have to be gay for the sweaters?
Representation
As
matters.
I understand it, the owner of the company who's gay, it was a way of saying, see, it's not just people, a certain percentage of the animal kingdom, and it's cool and it's great. And they somehow figure out, the sheep that like to be with other boy sheep.
That doesn't seem that hard to figure out.
Yeah.
They
probably figure it out.
kind of just let you know right up front.
I guess there's a couple telltale signs. And it hit the New York fashion thing and just went crazy. So now you can't even get them.
I'm picturing like a woke farm that only butchers gay cows. And it's like, yeah,
It wouldn't be woke.
not quite you. That's what I'm saying. It's like, not quite there.
I thought that was pretty clever, though. Interesting.
I will survive.
I will survive.
Have you ever watched a video of like a
Gay sheep?
sheep being shorn? And they could have been gay.
Is that what they call it?
I have, and I had to remind myself that it doesn't like kill the
Hurt,
sheep.
yeah.
Well, I think if their wool gets too thick and matted, it really hurts. to
Yeah, no,
take
it
off.
feels. Apparently, I've heard, according, like, I don't know this for a fact, but it's supposed to feel good for the sheep to be
You think? Yeah.
shaved.
You think they get hot and sweaty too because all that wool?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
I hate wool, man. I can't
It's
wear it.
really breathe.
Well, because most sheep, like sheep, originate in like the highlands, right? So where it's very cold and rainy, and so you want all that wool. But when we bring them to like Nebraska or whatever, it's gonna get warm.
Speaking of animals, this was a sad story. There was this guy who in Africa that was very wealthy, and he owned a company, that traded in adventure, like four-wheelers and things like that. And he gave tons and tons of money to support wildlife in Africa. And he was on a safari with his wife, got up in the middle of the night, went outside to pee, and a lion killed him.
Yikes.
Yes.
I
Not
mean,
great.
I guess you gotta be looking out for that. Whew.
That sounds horrible.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless I don't like, is it fast? Like over fast? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I guess it depends on the way the lion goes about
I
it.
guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes cats like to play with their food.
Uh,
I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
It's terrible.
I mean, haven't you ever seen a house cat with like if they
Yeah.
find like a cricket
Oh,
or something?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like sometimes I'm like, Lucy, what is wrong with you?
Gigi will
Taking
catch
pleasure in this.
Yeah, Gigi will catch lizards, and she will rip the legs off the lizards.
you have lizards in Alton?
I do have lizards in Alton, and she will take the legs off of them, leave the legs next to the lizard, which is now like dead of having its legs ripped off and being chewed on by a cat.
This has
for
happened
20
more
minutes.
than once?
This has happened 12, 13 times a year.
Jeez.
I'll find.
It happens
That's not what I
monthly?
thought it was going to
I'll
say.
find.
You just
Yeah.
12, 13
Well,
times a year.
limbless lizards?
They're seasonal, so
But you're
I'll find like
Basically snakes?
I'll find like 6 in the spring and 6 in the summer.
Jeez. Speaking of cats, a woman in North Carolina was driving to work when a bald eagle dropped a cat through the windshield of her car.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the cat passed away.
You think?
Yeah. Sad stuff. That's why you shouldn't let
Did
your
you worry
kitties
about
outside.
your pets growing up in Grafton?
I probably should have worried about like a hawk getting kitty or something like that, but it was okay. Sometimes other cats would show up and bully her, and that was very scary because she was like mostly an outside cat.
Yeah.
Our dog, Billy, the black lab, best dog ever, he was just like, I don't think he ever had a bath. Like he just ran around in the country.
Yay.
Like,
Yeah.
what a life.
Same.
Yeah.
That's how my dogs were.
Yep.
I bet my dogs came inside 3 times
Mhm.
when it was like below 0 or something.
My friends had a farm dog that used to drink beer. Like their dad would pop a beer for him and then like a beer for the dog.
Oh,
And the dog had like a trick where the dog would like tip his head back and could chug the beer.
jeez. Probably terrible for the dog,
Yeah.
but it's a good party trick.
I mean, look, those farm dogs, I think Dottie lived to be like 22. So it's like, those farm dogs are tough.
Want me to do this, Rach, or you want to wait?
Let's do it.
All right, take it off.
Okay, so brushing and flossing alone is not going to solve your bad breath. So a lot of times people will pick up, these Menti mouthwashes. They think that'll help. Look, there's only one mouth rinse on the market that's going to eliminate your bad breath at the source, and that is Smart Mouth. It's got science on its side. It's got this bottle that keeps these liquids separated until the last second when it's time to rinse. You're not going to find that with those other brands. And with those other brands, your bad breath is going to come creeping back. With Smart Mouth, use it once in the morning and once at night, and you will have 24-hour bad breath protection.
Everybody can use the original formula, including kids, although there is a kids formula. There's dry mouth for obvious reasons. There's mouth sore, again, pretty obvious. There's gum health for people like me who have gingivitis if you don't use it, but when you use it, you don't. It is great. It is unique. It's the only mouth rinse on the market that has a chemical reaction. And I promise you, if you buy your first bottle, you'll buy a bottle a month after that. We can save you $2.50 off when you buy by going to smartmouth.com/Glover.
On KMOX Day, the legends came home, sharing memories, moments, and the magic that made KMOX a national powerhouse.
KMOX pioneer Bob Costas.
I'm proud to be connected in any way to KMOX.
Frank Absher, thank you for being here.
I'm glad to be back.
The great Charlie Brennan, welcome back.
A lot of memories today. Wendy Weiss is back on KMOX, folks.
It's been a while.
We've collected more than 10 hours of incredible conversations from your favorite voices. Relive the celebration now, only at KMOX.com.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Let's watch for some developing rain as we go through the afternoon, especially late today. 57 for the high tonight. Periods of rain through midnight, so it's a quick hit. 49 for the overnight low. On Tuesday, warmest day of the week. 63 for the high, partly sunny skies. Then here comes a cold front. On Tuesday night, windy from the north-northwest, partly cloudy and cold, 37. It feels colder. Wednesday, sunny and chilly, 46. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny, dry, and 45. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival of Trees.
Hello, everyone. I want to invite you to the Moolah Festival of Trees. Come see over 40 of the best decorated trees you'll ever see. Adult tickets are only $2 and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Welcome to Coffee House. How are you today?
Hi, great, thanks. May I get a sea salt caramel latte with almond milk, extra caramel, extra shot, iced,
Gross.
and to go, please. Did you get all that?
No, I was just ringing you up for all the extras. Can you repeat your order, please?
Oh, never mind. I'm just going to go.
Stop paying extra for extras. Get fancy coffee without the fancy coffee price at Quick Trip. Raise your coffee bar.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Congressman Jason Smith is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Jason Smith at 202-225-4404 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Hey there, it's Steven, the owner of the Photo Pros, formerly Creve Court Camera. Each day, people bring us their family history, single photos in need of restoration, piles of photos wanting them to be scanned, boxes of slides, albums, videotapes, DVDs, and even old home movies. We take them and digitize them, or what we call scan them at high resolution, and place them on a USB thumb drive. Plus, many people want additional copies for the rest of the family. Yes, we'll make you copies. Here's the best part. You don't have to send them out out of St. Louis and have the chance of losing them. If needed, we can fix or restore the entire image or images. We are slightly higher priced than the internet, but our quality is top notch. Remember the Photo Pros, formerly Creve Court Camera. Come visit Mark, Derek, Daryl, Tony, and me, Steven, at our store. You can reach us at 314-567-3456 or Google the Photo Pros or even Creve Court Camera.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 134. Happy Monday. Jedi says, right-wing commercials crack me up. Jedi, it's so funny. During that commercial break, Wheeler was laughing like a hyena.
It was funny.
And we didn't know why. And it was that commercial. And it's so funny that we're all clocking this the same day. I'm like, when did we start running all these like Republican commercials? Like, I guess their money is as green as anyone else, but it seems like a strange time of year to be doing that.
According to Amy, we were running them during the 100th, which I didn't notice.
Oh.
But she said it was made for strange bedfellows for some of the stuff we were talking about.
It really is. It was just it's the style of it was funny.
Yeah.
It's like, these people are going to try to ruin everything, even though we're in charge. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
We control all aspects. They're making sweaters out of
And by the way,
sheep.
just to let everybody know, I would make fun of it if it was coming from the other direction too.
Oh, of course.
Because that kind of just over the top.
Yes.
Ooh, these fascists are ruining the. Come on.
Dramatic.
Come on.
I thought this was very sad. I saw this in the news this morning. O'Fallon, Illinois has some sort of a big fest, and they have canceled it specifically because they cannot control teenagers.
Oh, wow.
A couple of years ago, a bunch of teenagers showed up in mass and ruined it. I think last year there was some sort of like gunplay or something. And this year they said, nah, we're just not going to do it. We cannot handle the number and the attitudes and the behaviors of the local teenagers.
That stinks. I mean, how do you even begin to address something like that?
And again, like, being my age from my generation, I thought I was getting away with something when Eric Brokaw and I were cruising McDonald's and pretending we're going to make out with girls. And like, that was a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
If someone had said, hey, there's a festival going on, let's get a couple hundred of us, get some guns and go ruin this thing. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
So, and I'm not picking on anybody because obviously this is not something that an organizing group can handle and probably one police department can't handle. So this is not any specific criticism, but it's just a broader question because we've had these problems in downtown St. Louis too, right? I mean, we finally had the police department, the new chief, come up with a plan to at least target some of that activity, and they actually arrested people and gave tickets to the parents and all that. There's nothing that anybody in the community can do. We're just going to cede the ground to teenagers just going wild.
Seems odd.
I mean, like, how about this? Let's all band together. Let's get the state police and a bunch of groups, and let's just have it as a sting. We're going to have this festival, and when they show up, boom, go get them.
Okay by me.
When they misbehave. When they misbehave. Right?
Yeah. How dare you be a teenager?
Yeah, I want to be clear about this. Don't just round up all the teenagers. Just get the ones that are causing troubles.
Yeah.
I feel like as a community, both sides of the river, all of us, there's no way that the right way forward is, well, we can't do things because teenagers. Like, maybe let's come together and be like, okay, we got this big thing coming up. We anticipate some problems. Let's bring in the state police and let's bring in all these surrounding areas. And we're going to just overstaff this. And when people start going, boom, we got everybody ready to go.
But isn't it crazy? And everyone agrees it's crazy. But isn't it crazy that we can't just have a good time?
I know.
Because we're afraid of our children.
Yeah. Well, and
something
again,
got away from us.
And as I'm thinking through this, part of the problem with even, like coming up with the idea that I did, well, that's still putting people at risk. Yeah. Right? Because when you're talking about cases where people are showing up with guns and things like that, that still puts the general public at risk, which is probably why you have to do it the way you're doing it. But that's just a horrible way to look at things. I know maybe there is no practical short-term solution, but man, what a horrible situation to be in. Like, we just can't have things because teenagers are going to go wild. And we got to wrangle these kids, man. And I don't know that there's a good way to do it.
Kind of nuts. Man, I'm losing my very short-term memory. Like, as Wheels was talking, I looked at something and I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring this up. And by the time he stopped talking, I forgot what it was.
Oh,
it's not a good sign.
I thought of all of us this weekend while I was doing some show prep because did I not save headlines today? Are you kidding me? It's on my computer. Well, anyway, there's been a study that shows that TikTok is absolutely contributing to brain rot.
Mm-hmm.
These short videos just make it so much harder for, when used excessively, then it makes it much harder on your brain to focus on more complex tasks later. So, I mean, I thought of all of us because we love the short form videos around here, but it's like, if you just use that like for several hours a day, it can be really, really bad for your cognitive function.
Did you guys know about this thing? This does not apply to what happened to you just now, Dave, but I do that literally all the time where I'll just think of something and then forget it instantaneously. But I saw this from, I can't remember the exact expertise. I want to say it was a psychologist, but it might have been somebody who just studies brain activity, that if you walk in, if you're thinking, I'm going to go into the room because I got to go find my shoes. Sometimes if you just walk into that room, you will forget why you went in there. You ever had that experience?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a phenomenon that happens in your brain where your brain subconsciously thinks that a new room is a new environment. So it clears out short-term memory space to take in new info.
Interesting.
Which I thought was fascinating.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel a lot better because I do that all the time. I'm like, I'm going to go upstairs because I got to get the, the shaker for my protein shake. And then I walk upstairs and I do something else and I completely forget.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. That's what it is. It's a.
I do the show for Andrew.
Yeah,
that's
Andrew.
all I do.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
That one got me.
You definitely,
unfortunately,
you definitely hit that one off the wall.
Rach, what's my worst nightmare?
Your worst nightmare is, let me get it pulled up here. A woman. I think this happened in Thailand. Okay, this woman was deceased allegedly, and in her coffin, ready to be cremated. They're about to put her into the little kiln or whatever that is that burns people up. And what do they hear?
Oh no.
I'm not answering that door.
I know. But she was
turn on those flames
going home, but it's like how can we make I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I do feel like there are several like surefire ways of making sure someone is dead before they're fully in the coffin and ready to be cremated. But she had been unresponsive for 2 days. So I guess they just figured like, let's do it. Let's get the process started. But then she came to, and so things are good now.
The fact that she came to means there had to have been a pulse.
Had to be.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be a way to check the pulse and make sure, like, okay, it's definitely gone.
Some guy in like winter gloves is putting his hand on her neck, like, I can't feel anything.
There just seems to be nothing good to do with the body when it dies. Like, this is a little personal, but I share everything else. So when my mom passed, when the funeral director came to get her, they said, is there going to be a viewing? And we said no. And they said, not even you guys. And we said no. And they said, well, we don't have to embalm her then. And I think embalming is super creepy. And so I consulted with my sister and she agreed. So we didn't do it. And I have been bothered by this since my mom died, because I know she's gone, whether she's embalmed or not, or cremated, she's gone. Yet I picture her, because she was buried next to my dad, next to their best friends at Clock and Gaze. And I picture her being embarrassed because they're embalmed and she's not. Crazy thought, I know, but it gets in my head. But like cremation, which is probably what I would want, I know I'm gone. I know it's just meat, but God, that's crazy. We're going to literally burn you to a cinder. Probably the best I can think of is something supernatural, not supernatural, but supernatural, like the mushroom thing. That makes more sense. Like putting someone in the ground, even if you don't embalm them, in a casket with the vault and the water and the cold and the blah, it just gets to me. Does it get to you guys?
No, but I get where you're coming from. I mean, I was just raised to believe that your soul is what makes you. So if that soul has left your body, it just doesn't freak me out that much to think of like the cremation, for example, because it's like, well, that's not really me anymore in my mind. And I know a lot of like Christians don't want to be cremated because they're like, well, when Christ returns to earth or, during the rapture, everyone's bodies are going to be brought up into heaven. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you've been deteriorating in the ground anyway, that it's not like you have this pristine package to go up. So, but I mean, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. For me, it's just the weird thoughts.
Yeah.
Just the invasive thoughts. I don't really care what happens to me afterwards. I care about my loved ones, like whatever their final wishes would be. I think that's part of your duty as a child. But yeah, just weird thoughts. If someone you know, and that someone you know could be you, who is of a certain age, and that could be whatever age it happens to be, right? There's no marker anymore for it. It's just that, like, for example, myself, when we do the live endorsements for Lombardo, and they talk about these communities and 55 and up, and this sounds pretty good to me, right? Not having to do yard work and not having to do housework and, being close to things. Well, I want you to think about Bethesda. As you know, I have a great relationship with Bethesda, and they have every level of care. Like my mom was skilled nursing. There's assisted living. And then there are 7 communities throughout, and I'm talking about throughout the city, Clayton, Webster Groves, Kirkwood, that have apartment buildings that are perfect for you or your loved one, where they provide meals many times and beautiful apartments and walking trails and water features and, close to shopping, just really, really ideal and affordable. Like I found out what they cost, and they're surprisingly affordable. Bethesda Terrace is one of those. It's in Oakville. Again, beautiful apartments, maintenance taken care of, housekeeping provided, 10 acres, dog park, walking paths, water features, 3 meals a day that you pick your favorite 2 from. If you are interested in something in South County in Oakville, call 314-375-1070. If you're interested in anything else Bethesda, simply go to BethesdaHealth.org.
This holiday season, experience the power, the intensity, the legendary sound of Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Coming to Enterprise Center for 2 shows, December 23rd at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. A portion of the proceeds from the 3 p.m. show benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, 2 shows, Enterprise Center, December 23rd. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts, or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's chicken pot pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 149. I saw a video of the $6 Million Man from about 1976 when I was 12. And it was the one where Steve Austin is fighting Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Played by Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Wheels, you were younger than me.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, this is the core of my childhood. Like, this is like, if I wanted to take, like, hey, what was it like growing up, in the 70s? I'd be like, come here, watch this.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right?
Like,
Steve Austin
cheesy,
fighting Bigfoot, who ended up also being a cyborg. What?
Yeah. And really bad, like, stunts.
Yes.
Like, he's just so dumb.
We loved it.
Well, because we didn't have anything else. It's kind of like Eddie Murphy's line, if you're starving, going through the desert, you find a cracker, you think it's the best cracker you've ever seen. It's kind of the same idea.
Is there anything like that for you, Rach, that jumps out like, oh my God, this was so
90s?
Yeah.
I mean, I really loved the PBS show Zoom, which I think started in like the 60s or the 70s, and then they rebooted it in the 90s and early 2000s. Yes. So I would maybe show someone this and just be like, check this out.
This is what we're doing.
This is what I was working with back then.
So funny. How about you, Andrew?
Maybe how when like all food had to be like weird colors.
Oh yeah, when they had like the purple ketchup and such.
Purple ketchup, and like everything was like, all the drinks were like
white Coke.
Nasty, gross bugs smashed up.
Pepsi Clear.
Surge. I loved Surge.
I don't remember Surge.
It was green. You could get it at Burger King.
I thought you were saying the dude's name. Who's Surge?
Surge. That was my first crush, Surge.
No, it was bright green, and then it was gone for a long time, and then they brought it back at Burger King, and I think you can still get it at Burger King only.
Oh,
but
cool.
According to my wife, it's not the same.
Probably the soda of my childhood was Pepsi Light, which was lemon. It's the one I bought not too long, a couple years ago. Remember, I bought the 30-year-old bottle and drank it and almost died. That was my childhood soda.
Ugh.
It was good as hell.
Yeah, I don't remember very many choices.
And you know what I always wanted?
You ever have a Tab?
Oh, I had tons of Tab. Dude, okay, I had really bad acne when I was a teenager. And my mom and dad told me, because they were old school, and maybe they're right, that it's all diet. And it's chocolate, and it's, ice cream and stuff like that. So I took that seriously. And I am 16 years old, skinny as a rail, drinking Tab, eating sweet and low ice cream with pure saccharin in it that gave me like the worst stomach pains I've ever had. Sugar-free, syrup on my pancakes. I was obsessed. And I only went to the dermatologist one time, and I'm sitting in the waiting room, mortified that I'm there because of my complexion. And there are two of the high school guys there also who are like studs. And they were there because they had been hunting and got poison oak, like real men. And I walk up to the lady at the front, and she just barely looks up to me, and she goes, "Are you here for your acne?"
Oh, jeez.
God. Yes. And all they did was put a sun lamp on me and burn my face and then shoot it with CO2, the frozen stuff. And so I look like a plum walking out of there. And I told my mom and dad, I'm like, I'd rather have acne. I'm just not.
Yeah. It's
I'm
crazy
not going back.
the strides they've made in skincare, like even from when I was 13, 14. I mean, we would use like there was this one, it might have been St. Ives facial scrub, but it like ripped your face up essentially. And then you tone with the like sea breeze or whatever it's called. And all you're doing is irritating your skin way worse than it was.
It feels so terrible for kids who have a bad complexion.
Yeah.
Because there's absolutely nothing you can do. And it's just like, I didn't mean to do this. It's not a part of my character. Jedi says, Dave, did you see The Age of Disclosure yet? Brother, I spent $19.99 and I rented it over the weekend, and we're going to talk about it. We have a guest coming up at the top of the hour, but we'll talk about it after that. I loved it. I thought it was great.
How long is it?
A regular movie, like hour and a half, something like that.
All right.
But it's just like, you've seen these.
Oh, yeah.
Like you and I could shoot one in an afternoon.
Right. The home video
the
ones.
typical ones.
Yeah.
And this was like a real movie with real people.
Who did it again?
Some guy I'd never heard of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not one of the usual suspects.
So do they say when we're going to see them?
There's
I'm going to watch it, so no spoiler, but just
no spoiler, but there's a whole lot of conjecture that this movie was going to be the turning point, and that now Trump is going to be the one to come out. Wouldn't that be something if Trump's the one to be like, hey. Just so you know, which he 100% will if he really gets his you-know-what in the sling.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
Guys, we are now 1 week away from FanDuel Sportsbook launching in Missouri. I'm so excited. The FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX and of Kevin Wheeler. I've been using it for years, and finally now I can use it. Well, not now, but in a week I can use it here at home in the state of Missouri. And there's nothing like watching Thanksgiving football, which is what I'm going to be doing coming up on Thursday. And for football fans in Missouri this year, though, FanDuel's going to make it even more fun. They've got points giving going on for all FanDuel customers in Missouri. You get $1 in bonus bets for every point scored in the Chiefs-Cowboys game on Thanksgiving Day. So as an example, final score 24-21, you get $45 in bonus bets. And it doesn't matter if you've already signed up or if you're waiting to do it. Either way, go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get in on that action. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri to score those bonus bets for every point scored in the Chiefs-Cowboys games, so you can enjoy a football feast with points giving on Thanksgiving Day, which is coming December 1st to Missouri. Remember, 21 and older and present in Missouri to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Let me tell you guys about Neovitin. Neovitin is, 15, 18 years with me. Long enough that Tommy Rubicki, who is the CEO now, was just a young pup when he came in with his dad, Dr. Ken Rubicki. And Ken had just survived pancreatic cancer, which is a feat in and of itself. And he would never make the claim that Neovitin cured his cancer. But what it did do is it gave him the energy to continue practicing medicine and doing marathons and things like that. And when he was clear and in remission, out of the woods, he created Neovitin and started marketing it to mom and pop pharmacies. We found each other back in 2005 or something like that. And now they are national. So it's just great. Everything you need in a multivitamin, nothing that you don't. Cost you maybe $1 a day. You can find it at Schnucks and at neovitin.com.
104.1 FM, KMOX. News, talk, sports. News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it is a cloudy sky. Right now, 53 degrees. Feels like 47 degrees downtown at the Arch.
CBS News special report. A judge has thrown out the criminal cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York's Attorney General Letitia James, finding the prosecutor was illegally appointed. CBS's Scott McFarland.
Lindsay Halligan is the only prosecutor whose name is on the James Comey case and on the Letitia James case. She's the only one who would sign her name to it, the only one who presented to the grand jury. If she's not there lawfully, there's no second chair. There's no backup. Therefore, the cases are dismissed.
Legal analyst Caroline Polisi.
This is not a complete victory for Comey, to be sure, because it was dismissed without prejudice. They were looking for a dismissal with prejudice. However, this is seriously going to set this prosecution. It's going to really derail the prosecution.
James said today she's heartened by the decision and says she'll remain fearless in the face of what she calls baseless charges. CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
In another week in Missouri, you'll be able to place a bet on your favorite sports. Mike Lira, executive director of the Missouri Gaming Commission, says there are a variety of providers, including 2 that are considered untethered, meaning they don't have a partnership with a professional sports team or a physical in-state casino.
So some of them cater to the smaller wagerer, and others cater to the larger wagerer.
All providers are required to have integrity monitoring, which is basically a third party that's watching for betting irregularities. The Red Cross of St. Louis is providing tips to avoid burning down your house this Thanksgiving.
Clean the cooking surfaces on a regular basis to prevent grease buildup.
Red Cross of St. Louis Executive Director Lucretia Cox.
Consider purchasing a fire extinguisher to keep in your kitchen. That's really important too, so that in the event that there is a fire, then you can put one out.
Red Cross data shows about 44% of the fires their crews respond to happen during this week's holiday. A new hospital at Fort Leonard Wood now has an official opening date.
The General Leonard Wood Community Hospital is set to start welcoming patients on April 7th. It's a new state-of-the-art medical facility. It's going to replace one of the oldest operating military hospitals in the continental United States. It's designed to offer modern, world-class care to service members, retirees, and their families. In a release, hospital director Colonel Angela Dybel Lee says the building is a symbol of their endearing commitment to those who serve. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Some good news if you're headed to the grocery store this week. Garrett Hawkins, president of the Missouri Farm Bureau, says the American Farm Bureau Federation's annual survey shows a holiday feast for 10 will cost less than last year.
We think about the traditional Thanksgiving meal of turkey and sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes, stuffing, pumpkin pie, etc. The overall cost of a typical dinner is down to $55 roughly on average. And in Missouri, we're about $10 under the national average.
Hawkins tells MissouriNet the report shows that turkey prices decreased by 16% this year when compared with last year. The Dow from Stifel's up 220 points to 46,466. Looks like they've cleared the crash on 44 around the Arch. We've got a stalled vehicle 364 east at Kisker Road on the right shoulder. Some road work on 70 west at Union. That's got the left lane closed.
Let's watch for some developing rain as we go through the afternoon, especially late today. 57 for the high. Tonight, periods of rain through midnight, so it's a quick hit. 49 for the overnight low. On Tuesday, warmest day of the week, 63 for the high, partly sunny skies. Then here comes a cold front. On Tuesday night, windy from the north-northwest, partly cloudy and cold, 37. It feels colder. Wednesday, sunny and chilly, 46. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny, dry, and 45. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical Plumbing. Right now, 53. Feels like 47 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
My best friend Jenny came over for coffee, said it's cold enough in here to play hockey. Well, my furnace broken, it's already late. Call Jerry Kelly because they're open till 8. JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. Jerry Kelly.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DG S 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy gloomy Monday. Why am I saying I think? I know exactly what the weather's going to be. The cliche about old white men loving the weather. I'm not even kidding. Like, people in my life just text me and I'm like, oh, 8 days from now, sure, it's going to be like, I know exactly.
So when did the
be.
obsession kick in?
It's a great question.
Is it always like, were you that at 35? No. Okay.
No, I took each day as it came.
So is it just like a constantly growing thing?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So like when you were my age-ish, so it's not that far apart. It was like there, but just in the beginnings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's an example. Over the weekend, I'm watching KMOV in the morning, and they put up the forecast, but it was for 4 days.
Oh.
Like, who puts up a 4-day forecast?
He's like, what about the other 3?
Yeah, like I have to fill this in myself. So funny. My guest in studio right now is Chris Slusser. That's hard to say. Yeah. Madison County Board Chairman, who, get this, graduated from Roxana as a Shell and then went to SIU as a Cougar. So we're like brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is so cool.
Yeah. Smart kids.
Yeah. I was saying we should each have a wing at Roxana. You know, it's like the Slusser wing. Before we get into what you do and how Madison County is doing, I say this to people all the time. They just don't get it. Where we grew up was like a sociology experiment because you had Burbank and Central School, grade schools that fed into Roxana, and they were like normies. And then you had Rosewood Heights and Kendall Hill, and they were like rich kids. Then you had South Roxana, where I grew up, which was literally across the tracks, right? I mean, it was like the ne'er-do-wells. And all fed into this high school. And we had all of this, like the cliques and the popular. And it's hard to be popular if you're from South Roxana. And I'm not lying, am I? Like, no. It was really strange.
So we moved down there when I was 14 to Kendall Hill. Oh, and I came from a rural area. I had no idea that there was this dynamic going on and people treated you differently because they thought you were some uppity kid, but I was just some country bumpkin that just happened to move there.
Yeah. What'd you think of it? Just the whole area and Roxana and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I noticed the first day I set foot on campus, I smelled the refinery because back then you could smell it. Now they've got scrubbers and things where you don't smell it anymore. And I'm just like, Mom, I went to Cornfield High, Southwestern, and now I'm coming here. How am I going to sit through this place every day? But it was interesting. It was an open campus, which I wasn't used to that either, and kids got in all kinds of trouble until they finally stopped doing that. But it was I liked it. I mean, it was, some of my best friends were from South Roxana because we played on the baseball team together. And, so
I remember being in football practice, and that's before the refinery put any kind of scrubbers on, and just billowing out all the smoke. And I distinctly remember thinking, you're never going to be 6 feet tall. And you're going to lose your hair really early. And I think like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree, it fell out right then. Like both things came true. It was so weird growing up there. And I remember in law school taking my buddies to golf at Belt Park. And we went down 111 right in the middle of all the tankers. And my friends literally thought we were breaking the law. They're like, Dave, I don't think we're supposed to be here. I'm like, it's a highway. They're like, dude, we're in the middle of a refinery. What's going on?
Right.
So how are things in Madison County?
Oh, they're great. We're doing well. We've got good economic development projects going on. It's interesting whenever my friends from West County that I get them to come over, they haven't been over to the Madison County side in a long time, and they see Edwardsville and Glen Carbon and they're just blown away. They had no idea that was there.
It's a shame. It really is.
Yes.
And I have fallen on my sword so many times. I'm from there. I'm a proud East Side guy, but being in the business now, you don't even mean to do it. We just sort of naturally ignore Illinois.
Right.
And it's just to our detriment. It's terrible.
Right. And my wife she's from Colorado, but she went to WashU. And so we had met when she was living in St. Louis, and she had never really been over on the Illinois side because she's from Colorado and just kind of progressed east. And so we used to always, we got married in 2005. And I would say the first 5 years we were married, we were always over here on the Missouri side eating dinner. But now there are so many great restaurants in Alton and Edwardsville and Highland and some of these places that we never hardly come across the river now to eat dinner. So it's really changed.
Your wife's been a fan of the show for years?
Oh my gosh, since like 2001 or something,
cool.
when she was in college.
Yeah,
so,
very cool. Very cool.
I don't think she's missed an episode in like 20 plus years.
And Rach, these guys were at the Wildy and the Sheldon stand-up show.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always so fun, like getting to rub elbows with people at those events.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, she feels like you guys are all part of her family. She knows all. She's always telling. I don't get to listen that much because I just don't have the time usually to listen, and I do sometimes. And we're on road trips. She's always playing the podcast, but she's telling me all about you guys, like you're part of her family. So
yeah, that's so cool.
Sweet.
Uncle Dave.
Yeah, Uncle Dave. I'm really looking forward to our final show this year for Operation Food Search on the 19th. Just because of that, because we didn't do a DGS live this year, and so it's the only opportunity really for us to meet listeners, and I love it. I really truly do. I miss that.
Me too. And it's just so nice to connect, like especially people who show up to multiple things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here it's you again. Like it just feels really, really nice to have that connection.
So tell us about your job as Madison County Board Chairman.
Well, some days I think I need my head examined for taking on this role. Because I was county treasurer for 8 years. Before that, I was in the private sector for my whole career. But so the county treasurer's office, I just collected taxes. That was a pretty easy job, except for when you're collecting taxes. People don't like paying property taxes. But now my schedule is about 10 times busier. And so we kind of oversee the operations, and my predecessor wasn't as involved in the operational side of the county government, and I'm very involved in that. But my mission and the reason I ran is I felt like we had a lack of leadership on economic development for the region. The Madison County, all the cities were kind of fighting for themselves. And I said, we need a more cohesive strategy. And I worked for a large real estate developer before I got into government. And so I really enjoy that and I missed it. And so one of the areas I put a lot of focus on, because the area where we grew up is the Route 3 corridor. It was all hollowed out. It used to be full of industry. It's mostly hollowed out now from Alton all the way down to Granite City in Venice. And I don't have this illusion that we're going to return to 1950s manufacturing, but there are a lot of opportunities and things that we can be doing. And we're working on that. We have a lot of good projects. They're all long shots until they're done deal. But the activity has just been remarkable, and it's very, very hard for me to keep up. And it's a very fast-paced schedule.
So you're probably as much or more in tune to St. Louis, St. Charles, St. Louis County politics, and certainly hearing it on the radio and television and such, is Illinois politics just apples and oranges from the way they do it over here, or is it kind of the same game?
It's kind of the same. It's a little bit different, but I think we in Madison County, we stay a little more low key. I serve on the East-West Gateway Council of Governments, and so it is kind of interesting that I'm, sitting next to Kara Spencer and Steve Ellman and Sam Pate, people I see on TV, and now I'm sitting next to these people, But they have the same kind of challenges that we do. The one challenge I have is my county board has 26 members, so it's I love all of them. I have a great relationship, but it's herding cats sometimes to get 26 people to agree.
When you're doing the East-West Gateway. And anything I ask you that you don't want to answer, just lie. Like with Kara and Ellman and all these guys, do you ever feel like Illinois is giving the kids table? Like, oh, this is cute. This guy's from Roxana. Come on in.
Sometimes, yes. I think some of them have been very accommodating, and now, plus I'm a lot younger than some of them, and I'm younger than I look.
Everyone's younger than Ellman,
right? So I think Kara's probably pretty close to my age. I'm 48, so but I mean, Mark Kern, who's the St. Clair County chairman, and then George Green, who's Monroe County. We're all we kind of stick together sometimes, but it is very Missouri centric at times, but it's it's the bulk of the population, so
Illinois is so weird, and I don't know that much. Like, I'm nowhere near like Annie Fry and her understanding of stuff, but it does seem like the cliche is true that Illinois is two completely separate states.
Yes,
you have Chicago, you have Southern Illinois, and they couldn't be much more different.
Yeah, actually, Chicago and that Collier County area up there, they consider like Bloomington as downstate, which is hilarious because it's like 2.5 hours north.
And they
of
consider
here.
you guys like Kentucky.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, honestly, anything south of probably Aurora, Peoria, like it's downstate when you're up there.
Yes, absolutely. So it's interesting. We're kind of, we fall prey to some of the, policies that come out of Chicago where it's a totally different world, and they think we're just a bunch of hillbillies down here and we don't know what we're doing, and so some of these laws, it's part of, we're a red county now. It was always a very blue county, Madison County, but now it's a very red county.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And so actually the Republicans now hold every countywide office and a 20-6 majority on the county board. When I first got on the county board in 2008, it was 19 Democrats, 10 Republicans, and we held no countywide seats. So it's been a total reversal, probably the last 10 years.
What do you attribute that to?
I think it was kind of trending that way, but honestly, when I talk to a lot of the Democrats there, they feel like the national party just kind of left them. They're more blue collar workers, and they feel like the Democratic Party kind of shifted their focus and got a little too liberal for them.
Yeah.
A lot of them like Donald Trump, a lot of the blue collar workers. And so, Donald Trump cleans up in areas like Granite City and Wood River and places the Republican traditionally would have never had a chance. So
I don't get the liking Donald Trump thing because I don't like him. But growing up in South Roxana, the son of a union carpenter, I totally get the blue dog Democrat.
Yes.
Like one of my earliest memories is being in the backseat of a car with some old lady that my mom and dad were driving to the polls. They were really political. And so I knew probably until my first day on the air in 2000 that I was a Democrat. I didn't know why I was a Democrat. I just knew I was a Democrat. And when I think back to Jack and Francis, they were so conservative, just socially. They would have been perfect Republicans, but all I knew about Republicans is they make their money off the sweat of the working man. Right. That's how it was in the 70s.
I actually sat in Weber Ford getting my car serviced when COVID first happened. And they had like one of the news channels on, and they're talking about COVID, and there was an older guy who was just railing on the Democrats and saying they're conspiring with China to overthrow Trump here with this COVID virus. And it was just, he was going on this rant. And so I ended up asking him, he was an older gentleman, asked him, what did you do for a living? And he said, I worked at the steel mill for 40 years and I'm born and raised here in Granite. My dad worked there, my uncle, my brother. And I said, and you're a Republican? And he says, I voted for Obama twice. And he goes, I'd never voted Republican in my life. 2016, I voted for Trump. I'll never vote for a Democrat again. And I said, why is that? And he said, it doesn't mean this is rational. This is just what he said. And he said, they don't care about old white working guys like me. He goes, they support transgenders and illegal aliens and all. He's just going off on all these things. Now, whether it's rational or whether you agree, that's his reality. And I was like, okay, this is why Republicans are winning Granite City now.
And you know what? Whether it's true or not, it's true if you believe it.
Right.
And I think Democrats have given people like that guy reason to believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their perception becomes their reality.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything that you guys are working on over on the east side? By the way, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Chris Lesser, who's the Madison County board chairman across the river. Anything big you guys are working on you can talk about?
Yeah, there's a lot of big economic development projects, and everything that we try to do in our county government, I've shifted the mindset of like, if we're spending money on it, how does it affect economic development? And if it doesn't, then why are we doing it? It doesn't mean we're not going to, but we have to question. And then we're also addressing the underlying issues of homelessness and addiction and violence and crime and those kind of things, because you can't do economic development in a meaningful way until you've addressed those and done it in a humane way, in a dignified way.
And see, I don't think of homelessness as being a Southern Illinois issue.
Yeah, there's more than you would think. It's a regional issue. I think we're a little bit ahead of the game in Madison County with the way we're addressing it. But as far as economic development, data centers is a big thing. I think St. Louis County, City, St. Charles, they put moratoriums on it. We've taken the opposite approach, and we've done a ton of digging in and investigating and looking at the benefits versus the negatives. And I don't try to ignore any of the negatives, but we're actually open for business on those. And we've been working with a lot of developers, and it is massive, the economic impact that these have. They spend about 5 to 7 billion. There's about 6,000 temporary construction jobs over a several year period. And the property tax revenue that they kick out is more than what the refinery would pay, which is the Phillips 66 refinery pays about $26 million a year in property taxes, which is our biggest taxpayer in the county. These data centers would pay over $30 million a year, even with a big tax abatement. So those are good for our region. There's some other things I can't talk about yet because it's some non-disclosures, but some really, really, really big things that are happening, and I'm excited about it. And I was telling my wife the other day, she says, why do you think all these things are starting to happen now? And I said, I know this sounds crazy, but I never shut up about it. I just talk about it every interview I do nonstop. Yeah. People know we're open for business. And now all of a sudden we have developers and real estate agents and bankers wanting to meet with me because they hear what I'm saying and they like what I'm saying. And so the other thing is I have our highway department, our zoning department. I said, stop being the red tape bureaucrats. Let's partner with these developers. We still have to have some standards. Let's get out of their way and just not have rules because they're rules. They have to make sense. Let's use common sense in these things. And so we're becoming easier to work with too.
Smart. So, yeah. If there's anything I or the show could ever do for you, just reach out.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
A plane has crashed into one of the two World Trade Center towers.
There, when the world stood still.
Flames are flying out of the building.
It's 8:04 on KMOX, and another plane has apparently hit the World Trade Center in New York.
I heard a noise like a sonic boom almost, and then a blast.
There has been apparently some sort of bombing or crash going into the Pentagon building.
Shook the entire building. It was very clear that something terrible had happened.
St. Louis Police Chief Joe Moqua has a message to the community in light of today's terrorist attacks. There are no threats against the St. Louis community.
They're putting up yellow tape in front of the Eagleton Courthouse. There's a federal marshal with a shotgun there. People are standing around with a stunned look on their face. This is a day that everyone's going to remember.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
i3 Broadband, where in the spirit of the season, you can feast on 100% fiber internet. Whether you're shopping, streaming, gaming, or gathering, you need reliable and fast internet, and that's the good stuff you can stuff yourself on when you have i3. They always mirror upload and download speeds. They have a price lock guarantee, and you get unbeatable value, support, and service. Call today, 877-976-0711. They have plans for any budget, and you're likely to pay less money for better service compared with whoever currently provides your internet. That's i3 Broadband, i3broadband.com.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
I'm Dr. Colleen Bosler with the Audiology Center, and I'm talking with my associate, Dr. Adam Voss. What happens to a person's brain when they ignore their hearing loss?
There is such a strong connection between the ear and the brain. Ignoring your hearing loss can cause the brain to become lazy and the speech areas in the brain to shrink. This is partially why you can hear the words, but you cannot understand them. If a hearing loss goes untreated for too long, it may cause an irreversible change in the brain. It is incredibly important to have your hearing screened at 60 or older, or sooner if you're noticing difficulty. And the sooner someone treats their hearing loss, the better and quicker their brain will adapt to hearing sound again. Studies show that those who get hearing aids, even with a mild hearing loss, are much more successful hearing aid users as compared to those that wait longer.
So call us today to get your comprehensive hearing evaluation with one of our doctors, 636-441-7470, or visit us online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Hey, this is former Cardinal Adam Wainwright. Congratulations to KMOX on 100 years as the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 224. That's fun talking to Chris.
Yeah.
Catching up on the east side.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the zone this weekend, texting with our friend Trish, and I said, "Why are there no caveman ghosts?" And she's like, "I have no idea what you're saying." And I said, "We see our loved ones. We see people from the 1800s, but no one's ever claimed to see a caveman ghost."
Well, maybe they've worked through all of their trauma,
Could be.
connecting them to this
Yeah,
life.
they've had thousands of years to, find peace with this world and be able to ascend or descend maybe to the next. I mean, they didn't accept Jesus, so
Scott says maybe they reincarnated as 18th century people. Think of the things I could have achieved if I used this power for good. Instead of laying on my couch and texting my friend, "Why are there no cavemen ghosts?" Speaking of ghosts, I have a list here of notable celebrities that passed away this year. You want to hear them?
Yeah. I don't know why I said that with so much excitement.
Yeah, you're really into this.
Let's go.
Finally. Sam Moore from Sam and Dave.
Who's
Director
that?
David Lynch. Sam and Dave.
Yeah, who's that?
They were the Blues Brothers before they were the Blues Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Bob Uecker, Gene Hackman, Roberta Flack, George Foreman, Richard Chamberlain, Val Kilmer, Pope Francis, Loretta Swit, Sly Stone from the Family Stone, Brian Wilson, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Chuck Mangione, Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, Lonnie Anderson, Robert Redford, Jane Goodall.
That was all this year?
That's exactly. I mean, it's a whole year, and it's the world, basically, or at least our country, celebrities. But man,
the Gene Hackman situation was so beyond tragic.
That was so weird.
And so strange.
And the more information you got, the worse it was. Just terrifying.
It's so strange to think, right? Like you could say an exceptional life. Like I'm not saying he was like an exceptional human being or whatever, but to live the life of a movie star is by itself kind of an exceptional life. And then to end in such a strange and sad way.
I had another weird thought, kind of along the lines of why there are no cavemen ghosts. Do whales who die of natural causes necessarily just drown?
What if they're dead before that?
Yeah, they probably die before that.
You think so?
Yeah, they have a heart attack and then die and then
Yeah, 'cause
sink to the bottom.
They probably have a way of staying pretty close to the surface, even if they're not like feeling well.
Well, they can also like every other thing. It has air in it. They probably float when they're dead, and then after a while, eventually,
very, very.
But they show a lot of
slowly
dead whales show up on beaches. I'm sure not all of them, but they probably, honest to God, they probably get eaten before they would ever sink.
Well, you've answered one of my questions.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Looking for some iced caffeine, left you in the cold. No one knows why brown water costs as much as liquid gold. Told him your name was Brian, why does this cup say Nicole? But then you found paradise in your cup at the Quick Trip. No regrets to start your day.
This month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, Dr. Rohina Pani.
One thing that's important to remember is if you're concerned and you identify some family history, which typically means first-degree relatives and other risk factors for this disease, talk to your doctor about your family history, and they can then refer you to centers that specialize in those screening programs like Siteman Cancer Center.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Winterfest is back for the 10th year in Keener Plaza, now through January 11th. Enjoy Winterfest traditions, including ice skating, s'mores, and igloos underneath 100,000 twinkling lights in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. Grab a bite or drink from downtown favorites and enjoy a family-friendly New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular. Winterfest, hosted by Gateway Arch Park Foundation, presented by Bank of America and Worldwide Technology. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast, sponsored by the Woodlands of Arnold Senior Living.
Let's watch for some developing rain as we go through the afternoon, especially late today. 57 for the high. Tonight, periods of rain through midnight, so it's a quick hit. 49 for the overnight low. On Tuesday, warmest day of the week. 63 for the high, partly sunny skies. Then here comes a cold front. On Tuesday night, windy from the north-northwest, partly cloudy and cold, 37. It feels colder. Wednesday, sunny and chilly, 46. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny, dry, and 45. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
Taking care of your health should be simple. And with the NeoVitan monthly subscription, it finally is. Choose your doctor-formulated multivitamin and we'll deliver it straight to your door every month. No more running out. No more remembering to reorder, just consistent nutrition made easy. Plus, subscribers save 10% every month and can pause or cancel at any time. Visit neovitan.com and start your subscription today. NeoVitan, trusted nutrition every day.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Our segment with Bernie is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Dicon comfort dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DJS. Got a text from my friend that says, "You are so stupid. No one knows this more than me, but I swear to God, I'm still laughing about why are there no cavemen ghosts." Hello, Bernie.
What's good? Good afternoon.
How are you, pal?
I'm doing great. Just getting ready for, what everybody else is getting ready for. A couple days off and Thanksgiving. Wonderful time of the year.
What's Thanksgiving like around the Nicholas house?
It's actually pretty low key only because, my brother and other family live on the East Coast. They do their own thing. My wife has a really small family. It's just her mother, her sister, her brother-in-law, and nephew. So we all get together, but like I said, it's low key, it's small, but we still love it. It's still wonderful.
What were holidays like growing up in a Eastern Seaboard Polish family?
My gosh, I had a great childhood because on one side of my family, it was Polish, Polish ancestry, but on my mother's side, it was Southern people. So our Thanksgivings would be, you just name any kind of food you want. It was there. Like you would, there would be crab dishes. There would be European sausage, Polish dishes like stuffed cabbage, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there would be there would be pierogi, which is stuffed dumplings.
Right on.
And then,
Pierogi rock.
right, there would be all of these things, either Southern or Polish. And of course, all the standard Thanksgiving stuff too, which I don't have to go into because we all know what the standard stuff is. Yeah, it was incredible. And people wonder why I grew up as a fat kid.
I noticed this, Bernie, when you started flashing back to your childhood, a little bit of the Baltimore accent came out in you there. You know, a little no.
Yeah, I can turn that on. Maybe one day I'll do the whole.
I love it. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, that part of the region. Well, Bernie, you know it better, but like, there's each region on the East Coast has a little bit of a different twist on just that way that accent
Baltimore,
sounds. Like Pennsylvania's got its own, and
yeah, Baltimore's pretty thick. Like you don't say, because I grew up 2 hours from the Atlantic Ocean. So when you're about to head to the beach, right? 2-hour drive out, 90 minutes. You would just say, "Hey, hon, I'm going down the ocean."
I love it.
But can I tell you a quick story since we opened this door?
Yeah.
One of my favorite newspaper-related stories. I was covering the Dallas Cowboys in 1988 for the Dallas Morning News out in Thousand Oaks, California. And a huge Cowboys fan in those days was the actor. And don't laugh. This is when he was like not that far removed from, being nominated for Best Actor in Buddy Holly, So Gary Busey at that time was sober, and his career was hot, and he was still very much in demand. And he was a huge Cowboys fan, so he would always come to he was coming to practices 2 or 3 times a week. And then what happened is we struck up a friendship, and he would say, "Can I just stay in your dorm room in between practices? Because I have work to do. I got to call my age. I got to do these things." Sure. So one day he said, we were talking. He says, "You told me you're from Baltimore, right?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Can you help me, man? I know you're busy." He says, "Can you help me?" "Why?" "Sure." He said, "I need to learn the Baltimore accent. I'm up for a role I really want. Can you help me? Can we go through the Baltimore accent? Can you coach me?" I said, "I'd be happy to." So I'd be sitting there, Gary Busey's talking to his agents, then he's taking 10 minutes. He's like, "Well, how would I do this?" And I'm coaching him how to speak Baltimore. I just love that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What a great story.
Yeah.
It is.
That's
and
great.
again, I want to make it clear. This was the normal Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, he didn't get
everybody
crazy
knows.
until he was probably closer to 70, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wasn't even drinking at that. He was totally sober. Yeah, but it's a great guy. Great guy.
Bern, I grew up with tons of Polish jokes. Did that bother you or your dad?
Never. I think it bothered my grandparents and older aunts and uncles. Never bothered me in the least, because it's explained. I've always believed that it's okay to laugh at yourself, and I laugh at myself. It's okay to poke fun at each other. I mean, yeah, you can go too far with anything, but I always just got a kick out of it. I wasn't offended, and I think if you show you're offended, I think the people that told the Polish joke to you were trying to get that reaction anyway.
Yeah.
So to me, it would catch them off guard.
Yeah.
For example, how can you tell if a pirate is Polish?
How?
Right? He's got patches over both eyes. And see, I'm Polish, so I'm allowed to tell that joke.
I love it. I love it. Let's start. I didn't plan on starting out here, but Brian M says if Drinkwitz wants to go, bye. He can't win against better opponents.
Well, I have a video. It's a little shameless plug there. I got a video up right now on the whole Coach Drinkwitz situation and my disappointment with Mizzou and the way things have ended this season or ending. But this idea of let him go, good riddance, I can't co-sign on that, because I'm disappointed. I think he's overrated offensively. I think he still hasn't developed his own quarterback. The best quarterback he's had at Mizzou was Brady Cook, who was recruited by Barry Odom, the previous coach. I think that they've got the worst passing attack statistically in the SEC in terms of SEC games. But on the other hand, when I think about where Mizzou was when he came in, and I think about how he has elevated the program, and he's elevated it a lot. And I don't care what the deniers say, he has elevated this program by a substantial amount. But he can't get over those obstacles where he can't beat the best teams in the SEC, and he's struck against ranked teams, period. But I love everyone thinking that this is something new, and I've repeated this stat, and I'm going to continue to repeat the stat. Dan Devine, great football coach at Mizzou, great football coach, right? He had a losing record against ranked teams. Against top 10 teams, he was 3-14. See, everybody thinks that it's so easy at a place like Mizzou where you're going to just start kicking butt when you're playing top 10 teams and everything. Historically, that just hasn't happened. Now, I think that Drinkwitz has got to do better in that area, but I just like these people that just like think this is like a Drinkwitz only situation, But he needs to do some things better. But when I think of the fundraising and the NIL, the transfer portal, the way he has strong alignment with the Missouri legislature, his own administration, he's a great fundraiser. There are so many pluses, but to say, "Oh, let him go." Well, first of all, who the heck would you hire?
That's what I was going to ask, man. I mean, Florida State is not firing Mike Norvell basically because they don't see enough good candidates out there to where it's an obvious upgrade. And this is not a shot, but Mizzou's not Florida State.
No, it's not.
So who are you going to go get? Because the big boys are looking at LSU, and if Kiffin leaves, looking at Ole Miss and Florida, and Penn State's obviously full now, so that helps. But like, you're going to be starting all over again. They either need to empower the offensive coordinator more, because I don't know if it's Kirby Moore's fault or if it's Drink's influence, but they got to fix the offense.
Okay, I have a question, and this is not a slight to you guys. You know how much I think of you, but if you guys know this, doesn't Drink know this? And if he knows it, why doesn't he do something different?
Well, that's a good question. I don't really have the answer. I do know this though. After that display Saturday, especially when he didn't go for it on 4th and 3, when his team had all the momentum, and he chickened out because he was going to go for the first down and then hopefully go in and cash in for the touchdown. 10 that would make it 10-0, and Mizzou had all the momentum. But Brett Venables, the Oklahoma coach, basically baited him. He said, "Okay, well, I got to call timeout," and Venables basically suggested to reporters after the game that it was kind of a mind game. He wanted to see how Drinkwitz would react to that. Well, Drinkwitz is like, oh my gosh, they know what we're going to do. So I would no, let's kick the field goal. He just basically tucked tail, and I'm sure Venable after the game was laughing. So I said in my video, and I really mean this sincerely. I'm not doing hot takes on this stuff. But I really mean this. If you are LSU or you are Penn State and you are Auburn, you are Florida, and you see a coach who goes to Oklahoma where the program hadn't won since 1966, and he goes in there and he's had a chance to put his foot down and really attack and really get the lead and really get the momentum, and he backs away because the other side calls a timeout. How do you think that would play at LSU or Florida or Tech or Penn State or Auburn? How do you think that would go over? And I saw a lot of social media posts from fans of those schools. It's basically like, "Hey, Mizzou, no, thank you. You can keep them."
Yeah, it's one of the things that is really difficult now to me. But when you're in Mizzou's position, you to beat the big boys, you've got to do something different than what's working. And how many times have we covered coaches, Bernie, or just observed from afar, coaches who got to a certain level doing things their way, and they're resistant to change until the administration or the boosters or somebody goes, "Listen, we're going to help you change this, but we need you to change this. You've got to find a quarterback, or we've got to get an offensive coordinator, or empower your current offensive coordinator rather than being kind of under your whatever way they think it needs to be done." Because if you're not going to develop a quarterback, then you need to go buy one. And you're not going to develop Zollers by having him sit, right? So you spent a whole year this year with a guy in Prbula who's a senior, and he's playing when he's healthy, but you're not winning the big games, and you're not developing your other guy for next year.
In Mizzou this year in SEC games, right? And again, Drink has this rep when he came here as being this offensive guru or whatever. And they've had some really good offense, but they've never had a great quarterback. And and I repeat, Barry Odom recruited the best quarterback that Drink has had. But anyway, this season, Mizzou in SEC games ranks 10th overall, like 22 points per game. And then if you take that Mississippi State blowout out of there, they're averaging 18 points a game in SEC games. You're never going to win in the SEC. You're never going to be able to move towards the top 3 or 4 in the SEC with an offense that is so poor. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, in 3 of those big losses, Bern, you didn't score more than 17 points.
Right.
You have to play. And they were just talking. I forget which of the big games this weekend the broadcasters were talking about it. Oh, it was Mizzou, but they were talking about Oklahoma and Oklahoma's offense. Like, you cannot go into the playoff thinking you're going to win a game if you can't score 30 points against top tier competition.
I think as a theory, that as a principle, I think that's correct.
Yeah.
It's a different ball game.
Yep.
All right, but again, man, he's brought this program up a lot. I mean, he's raised it way up. I think it's fair. I don't know why. I don't understand people who think it's got to be all or nothing on everything. Everything, right? So a guy like me looks at that and I say, wait a minute. This program was dull. It was boring. The stands were half empty. Nobody really cared other than the diehards. There wasn't any buzz or excitement. They were struggling to recruit players. This guy changed all that stuff and more. So you're going to kick him out because you're frustrated, as I am, about the state of the offense and the lack of a quarterback. So that means, oh no, get out of here. No, see, I can't roll that way.
All right, pal, tell us about Saliga.
Yep, sorry I was dragging that out.
That's okay.
But you got me fired up. Anyway, Saliga Heating and Cooling's been taking care of St. Louis family since 1927. This Daikin Comfort dealer has been taking care of us for about the last 18 years here at the Miklas home. So we relied on all the things we love about Saliga over and over and over again. We know they set the standard for honesty and knowledge and professionalism and prompt service. You can trust their integrity every single time they come to your home. Plus, they're classy. You never have to worry about that either. That you'll be totally comfortable when they're in there working on something. And they've always looked for low-cost solutions for us. They're not trying to hustle us for the most expensive repair job. You know why? Because as I've said on the show here quite a bit, they've been taking care of St. Louis family since 1927. It's the same family. Saliga is still doing that. Dan is the fourth owner operator of the family business. They want your business. They have to earn it, and they have to keep it once they earn it. They want your loyalty, but they have to work for it. So the last thing in the world they're going to do is try to hustle you for something. So we're just huge fans of the Miklas home. If you want to find out more about Saliga Heating and Cooling, including the Priority Club maintenance plan, and you want to find out the phone number, just go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-224-5353. That's 800-224-5353. Again, that's 800-224-5353.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. Thanks to supporters like you, children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach incredible milestones. Please donate today at treeofhope.org.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ETHOS.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Welcome back, DGS. Okay. Can we talk secretly here for a second?
Quietly?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to tell anybody.
No one else is listening.
No,
right?
it's just totally, in the loop.
I know you're not supposed to comment on the way people look, especially women. Okay?
Well, yeah, I might be out of here.
I get that. I'm just going to leave it there. No. It's not even...
So, Rachel, we have some things we'd like
This isn't so much about the physicality, although that's troubling to me. But have you seen the interviews with Ariana Grande and
Cynthia Erivo?
No.
Oh my God.
They are very strange.
I mean,
are they like
if they're
frenemies?
If they're in a couple, good for you. Godspeed. Love it. But the way they are with each other is so weird. There's this one where a helicopter's flying over.
I saw that this morning
during an interview, and Cynthia's bawling. And Ariana's like, not right now, helicopter. And she's like comforting her. And Cynthia's just like, and we're like, what are we doing?
And like, you go and
did I miss a chapter here?
You go and you see that movie, and you're like, it just ain't worth all that. There ain't one thing in this movie you need to be crying about.
They ain't going nowhere though. They brought in like 200 million this weekend. Yeah.
No, I mean, I liked the first one. I'm sure I'll get to the second one, but it's the way that they are acting about this movie is like, come on.
It's like they got together and they were like, you know what we should do is we should just act super, super close. Like we're like platonic soulmates or something. And then they've done a very poor job of actually, like, it feels like a PR decision was made. Like, we're going to be the world's best friends. And the way they choose to show that, it just comes across as awkward to most people. They could genuinely be very close. I could be way off, but it feels like they're going for something and they're not quite hitting their target.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, the helicopter video is extremely funny.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, guys, go out and check it out.
Yeah, because Ariana Grande is literally like waving the helicopter away as if that's going to do something.
The guy on the ground is like, there's a small child waving at us.
Yeah. Crazy. When's the last time you guys thought about Doge?
Yesterday. I checked my Robinhood because it's I had bought a bunch of Doge back in 2021.
No. Doge.
Not Dogecoin.
Not Dogecoin.
The Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh, long time then. I don't care about that. I only care about my Doge coins.
I didn't see same way. I hadn't thought about it in forever. It was supposed to go another year.
Yeah.
Was funded and approved for another year. And someone like me just asked someone at the White House, like, hey, what's going on with Doge? It's just gone. Wasn't that a weird friggin' period?
Yes. Makes me trust it even less.
Just cutting everything.
Like, hey, let's take the richest man in the world and give him all of Americans' private access information.
And what do we get?
Well, nothing. And
They say
those
nothing.
people don't get their jobs back. They weren't like, whoa, that was weird. All right, everybody get back in here.
Crazy.
Let's see. How much did they save? Man. That's a great question. Actually, there's a headline on this from just a few days ago. About Doge, and yeah, you're right. They just said it doesn't exist. Well, wasn't the whole point they were going to save us billions?
Oh, I thought it was trillions
or whatever. Like, what did they end up actually saving?
I bet you less than 100 billion.
I mean, yeah, his promise was 2 trillion, and then it was 1 trillion, and I guess apparently what they did was they saved 200 billion.
All right.
So that's like saving $1,000, $1,300 per taxpayer,
which is nothing to sneeze at.
Well, I mean, it's not really denting anything though. Like you're talking about,
and then you have to ask, what did we pay?
And then what did we lose?
Yeah.
And what is it going to cost long term with the jobs that were eliminated in slowing things down and creating other problems, which is always the point. You could say we're saving this right now, but if it leads to problems down the road that we have to pay to fix, well, then that's a waste of time now.
Yeah. So tonight it's supposed to be pretty rainy when we leave here. And as you know, we can have some of our worst storms during November and December. If you are worried that your roof isn't ready for that, if you're worried that your siding isn't up to snuff, your gutters, your fences, you can preemptively get them fixed by Triton Exteriors. If you are think you're fine, and then you find out that you're not, please consider getting a bid from Triton Exteriors when the inevitable happens. And the inevitable doesn't mean you're going to be injured or your roof's going to be torn off by a tornado, but you lose a few shingles and you're maybe going to sell your house, and maybe might as well just put up a new roof now. Just know that Tim at Triton is fair. He employs great craftsmen. They're almost always going to be the middle bid. They don't cut corners, but they also don't add sweetness to their bid just to make a little bit of extra profit. They'll get back to you the first day that you call them. They'll get to you the next day. 314-717-1159, triton-stl.com.
Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's going to be chicken, and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, is hosting a taxes and retirement seminar at his office in Chesterfield on December 10th. Come meet Steve's newest advisor, Tracy Richardson, as she discusses the big beautiful bill, taxes on your Social Security, and more. Tracy will not only cover the hurdles you can face in retirement, but ways to keep more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. This is a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
You know, hon, I've always been interested in us buying a timeshare.
I'd rather eat Play-Doh.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Hey guys, FanDuel's coming, man. It's December 1st, so we're now a week away from being able to bet on sports in the comfort of our own homes. For me, it'll be in the man cave. FanDuel, of course, is the official sports book of KMOX and of Kevin Wheeler. And it has been, like, for me, I've been with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. I've been on it for years, ever since it launched, because it's phenomenal. It's easy to use. It's safe. It's secure. Everything about it is great. And with Thanksgiving coming up, there's nothing better than kicking back and watching some football on Thanksgiving. And for all of us here in Missouri this year, FanDuel's about to make that even better because they're running points giving this week. So all FanDuel customers in Missouri can get $1 in bonus bets for every point scored in the Chiefs-Cowboys game on Thursday. So if the score is 24-21, you get $45 and in bonus bets. And it doesn't matter if you're already signed up, if you're waiting to sign up. Either way, you can still do this. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get in on the action. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. You can score bonus points for every point scored in the Chiefs-Cowboys game and enjoy a football feast with the rest of the food feast with points giving on FanDuel on Thanksgiving. Again, coming December 1st to Missouri. 21 and older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
At 3 o'clock, it is a cloudy sky. Right now, 53 degrees downtown at the Arch. A federal judge has dismissed the criminal cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James.
The judge dismissed both cases, saying the prosecutor who brought the charges on behalf of President Trump was illegally appointed by the Department of Justice. The ruling is viewed as a major rebuke of the Trump administration's efforts to target the president's political opponents. It's also seen as a denouncement of the administration's legal maneuvering to install loyalist prosecutors willing to file such cases. The prosecutor in this case, Lindsay Halligan, has become the latest administration prosecutor to be disqualified over how she was appointed. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
The St. Louis Voices Academy of Media Arts has been placed on probation because of significant concerns about the safety of children as well as academic concerns.
The Missouri Charter Public School Commission placed the school on probation, which is located in the Park Pacific building. They have a deadline of December 1st to present and implement a safety plan. KMOX spoke with the Charter School Association's Noah Devine.
Due to a combination of factors, both at the building level, in terms of physical plant security, as well as in terms of protocols, the safety of students needs to be reaffirmed. And that is why you see in the letter of concern the need for things like a safety plan.
There has been at least one instance where a child walked away from the school. There are also major concerns with the school's special education practices. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
A St. Charles County councilman is trying to force a solution for neighbors near Weldon Spring who say highway noise is ruining their quality of life. Tim Baker says he visited the neighborhood near 364 personally.
So the traffic has grown so much that the sound is just terrible.
Baker tells Fox 2 he's hoping the county executive will support a sound wall, despite MoDOT previously ruling the area didn't qualify for one. Missouri gaming officials are waiting to see how hot demand is for sports betting when it launches next Monday.
The head of the State Gaming Commission, Mike Lira, tells KMOX they'll get a glimpse of how it's going after the first week using geofencing data from a provider.
And they're going to show us what betting looked like on the borders, people crossing across state lines to place bets as they would today, and then how that's come back into the state of Missouri after a week.
You can open and fund an account now in advance of the launch on December 1st. Revenue from the industry will pay for operation and regulation by the state, support problem gaming programs, and any remaining revenue will be earmarked for education. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups pleaded not guilty today to alleged involvement in mafia-linked illegal gambling schemes that rocked the NBA. Justice Department correspondent Scott McFarland.
What's alleged by the Department of Justice is that Billups and the conspirators would orchestrate these rigged poker games to fleece deep-pocketed victims and funnel the proceeds to the mob, to mafia organizations.
From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. 2 pieces of prime real estate in downtown Clayton are officially on the market, marking the end of a massive corporate expansion that never finished. The St. Louis Business Journal reports that Centene listed 2 vacant lots next to its headquarters on Forsyth. The properties, valued at over $10 million, were originally part of the healthcare giant's $775 million expansion plan. That project, which would have added another tower and a civic auditorium, was officially scrapped in 2022. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now to Stiefel and Scott Bedell. Scott.
Hello, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. The rebound we experienced in stock prices that began last Friday continued today, with 2 of every 3 stocks moving up in value on the S&P 500. At the 3 p.m. closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was higher by 202 points, or 0.4% to 46,448. The Standard & Poor's 500 index rose 1.5% to 6,705, while the NASDAQ index had the strongest performance, rising 2.7% to 22,872. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index, also with a good day, up 0.2% at 1,537. Looking at some stocks of local interest, ESCO Technology gained 4% at $224.36. Centene jumped 4.5% at $38.17. Stiefel Financial added 1.33% at $118.56. On the downside, Boeing slid another 0.3% to $179.12, while Charter Communication fell 2%. They closed at $199.09. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stiefel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stiefel.com.
We have another storm system in play. This time around, it's fairly fast moving, so clouds dominate going through our Monday afternoon with rain developing as we go through the afternoon. It could hold off until late day. 57 for the high. Tonight, periods of rain through midnight. So there's about a 6-hour window of rain here. 49 for the overnight low. On Tuesday, let's talk partly sunny, 63 for the high. That will be the warmest day of the week, Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday night, here comes cold front, partly cloudy skies, windy from the north-northwest, and it's cold, 37, feels colder than that. Wednesday, sunny and chilly, 46 degrees. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny and 45. Now, we could see a little light mix of rain and sloppy, wet snow, mainly rain as we get into Friday night. And that kind of unsettled weather pattern is going to take us through Saturday and Sunday. But again, it's mainly a rain setup as we warm up with a flow from the south. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It is a cloudy sky right now, 53 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Monday. A few minutes past 3 p.m. Allison says, happy birthday, Kevin, and happy Thanksgiving to the DGS. You always make my day when I get to hear your show. Hey,
that's very sweet. Thank you, Allison.
Very nice. So someone on the stream, which, by the way, if you guys want to watch us do the show, you can go to Facebook or YouTube. I was thinking like Twitter because I know you guys do Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't think we do Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, someone earlier on the stream asked me if I'd seen the Disclosure movie, and happenstance would have it. I rented it and watched it over the weekend, and I watch most of the alien shows and movies.
Yeah.
And they're mostly bad, and it's just the same information over and over
Same
again.
stories recycled. Yeah.
Bleh. This one was different. It was
Bob Lazar.
It was good, good production. They didn't have any wonks on. It was mostly PhD scientists who can prove that they've worked for the government and the people who are in all this. And here's like, I guess spoiler alert, but here's basically what they say. I've always been of the opinion that they're like, even the presidents don't know. I'm like, oh, what a bunch of crap. The president's going to know everything. But I now believe that it has been possible for them to hide all of this because like 10 years ago, they started the ATIP program, which we've covered here on the show. And
we had Lou Elizondo on the show.
Yeah. And what they found out is that there's something called the Legacy program. And that has been going on for the past 80 years. And that it is hidden within the Energy Department where you can't do FOIA requests. And so the theory is that lifers who spend 30, 40 years in the government are the ones who take over from each other and continue to run this program where elite special operatives are on 24/7 alert that if there is a crash of an exotic vehicle or non-human biologics, they go out, they recover it, they bring it back, they study it, they reverse engineer it, and that United States, Russia, and China all have been documented to have picked up some of this technology. And it was just fascinating because they're talking about what are the possibilities? Well, the possibility that they are from another galaxy, another solar system. There's the possibility, this is the one that intrigued me the most, is that they are some sort of humanoid that developed on Earth maybe contemporaneously with us, maybe a long time before us. And we're just the latest kids on the block, but they've been here for much longer than us. They have great technology and they hide out in the oceans or what have you.
Which would play into some of the myths.
Yes, absolutely it would. But I can tell you this. after watching 90 minutes of these scientists and, Marco Rubio and all of these, House members and
was Tim Burchett
senators,
in it?
yes.
Yeah.
I am convinced. I don't think it's a belief. I don't like to talk about belief. Who cares about your belief? Like, are you convinced? Are you convinced that there is a non-human intelligence here? Are you convinced that Jesus was the Son of God? That's more like what I like to talk about. Because when you say beliefs, it almost like gives like a, you're cooler than me or you're more special than me. Like, no. Are you convinced? I'm convinced about some things. I'm not convinced about others. I'm convinced that there's some sort of, that these things are real. Could it be that it's our own stuff? Sure.
Yeah.
Could it be that it's China? Sure. Yeah, it could be. Like one of these days they come out like, here's the Tic Tac. And they said that because they move in such a way that defies physics.
As we know it.
Yep. And they made a really good case for we're one discovery away from being able to do that.
Yeah.
So it's a big discovery,
yep.
But it's basically the ability to use energy to create a bubble that manipulates space-time.
Right.
And they said, I'm not going to tell you we're going to have it next year, but I can tell you that we've been working on this for decades.
Right. And essentially, because inside that bubble, you don't feel movement.
You don't feel it.
You're moving through, but you're not. You're more like you're bending it around you than you are like physically in motion in space, if I'm understanding the explanations I've heard.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And
Is that how they explained it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that would explain why they can go through the air and be unaffected by the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Why they can go through the ocean.
Why they can stop the way they do and turn without killing everybody,
or
right?
hover.
Because if you're flying through and you make those turns, I mean, a human being turns to jelly with that kind of G-force. So,
really interesting.
But I am convinced that there is a phenomena. Because when you're talking about the best and brightest that we have, people that are flying fighter jets, people that are in the Navy, people that are in the Air Force, and like they're seeing these things, they're tracking these things. They have state-of-the-art technology, and they are the best of the best. And they're saying there's something we don't know. I believe them. I'm convinced of that. But obviously, I wouldn't say that I'm convinced of that I know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was very interesting.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like that, because think about it. How many UFO sightings do you think in the 70s? I guess it was the 70s, right? When the stealth bombers were being tested before they were even publicly known. If you would have seen one of those in the sky 40, 50 years ago when it was being developed, you would have been like, that's a UFO. We don't have planes that look like that. Although, and it wouldn't have markings. It wouldn't have lights because it's meant to be undetectable, right? A normal airplane's going to have lights so nothing hits it. Well, these things wouldn't do that because they're warplanes. They're going to be, so they're supposed to be, quote unquote, invisible.
Yeah. The most interesting part of it to me was how the guys from ATIP said when they ran up against the legacy program, it was just a brick wall.
Yeah.
That it was, you're going no farther. And in fact, we're uncomfortable with you even existing.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
See, that part, I don't know how you get around it, but that part's not okay.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be people that just get to tell everyone else, nope, only us.
We, the American citizen who pays for every dime of this, know essentially nothing. The Senate knows essentially nothing. The President of the United States knows essentially nothing. It's just not okay. And they made a pretty good point of why they can't just come out with it ontologically, religiously, economically, that it could be this huge
But
blow.
by now, it's been built up.
I agree.
I mean, I agree with that take from 80 years ago.
Yes.
And I agree that if you would have come out really at various points in the past, you would have had a lot more shock.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the polling, at least half of people think it's real anyway. Right? I mean, how much does it change? Unless there's some kind of wild-ass explanation that goes with it.
Yeah.
That either circumvents some belief systems or changes them. And Lord knows, I don't know what those could be. I'm just saying that if there's something that would by nature change that, okay, but at some point it's got to come out. I mean, and I don't know who gets to decide when is everybody ready. Maybe the answer is never. Well, then you don't get, I don't know. Maybe the answer is whenever whoever's doing these things decides they're not going to listen.
Yeah.
They're just going to do what they want. And, the old cliche, park on the White House lawn.
I was also telling the guys at lunch today, I am about halfway through the Ken Burns Revolutionary War doc, and this will probably be unpopular with some people, if I'm just being honest. The thing I walked away with last night was I feel kind of bad for the loyalists. You're living in a British colony, you're born and raised, you're a British citizen, and suddenly your neighbors are like, F this, let's just start our own country. And you're like, yeah, whatever, Clem. And now there's a war. And they're just like being killed and tortured and ran out of their homes. And I get it. It's a Revolutionary War. But in the time, we don't have the benefit of hindsight.
Right. With no guarantee that what the revolutionaries were doing was going to work. So it's like
it was real iffy.
Yes, I get why people were not necessarily enthusiastic about what was happening. I don't think you're wrong at all for feeling that way, Dave. I think anyone who has empathy and can put themselves in another person's shoes would be able to see, like, yes, of course, this would be a difficult decision for a lot, especially if you don't have like a direct stake in what they were fighting for.
Yeah, you're not a big landowner.
Yeah, if you're not a rich guy, like how much is it really affecting you back then? I don't know the answer to that question, but this idea that like, loyalists, they were just weak. It's like, well, I don't know. It was a very complicated situation.
And the other thing I came away with, all conflict is kind of gross, right? Like, have you ever seen someone have a real fist fight and someone get their nose broken? It's really kind of jarring. And just the level of violence, the battle of the Battle of Brooklyn. So just, this tiny little outlet, and there's Flatbush and there's Brooklyn Heights and all this, that basically thousands of Continental and thousands of British, they had no trees, no boulders, no nothing. They just did it the European way, and they just stood in the field and shot each other until they ran out of musket balls, and then they just ran at each other with bayonets. And there is an interview, because it was 200 years ago, but one of the doctors that went to the battlefield afterwards to minister to the wounded and collect the dead just said it was unbelievable. Like it wasn't like, oh, it seems you've been shot in the shoulder. Like everyone's just in pieces. And I know it happened. And I know that even worse things have happened. I don't know about you, Kev, but having grown up in the era, you and I didn't serve. We never saw people killed, things like that. No. It just seems impossible that human beings endured that.
Yeah. And even if we wouldn't have seen anything like that.
Right.
It would have been bullets and tanks and bombs and things, and anything up close would have still been firearms. Would have still been you get some close proximity in like street fighting, or like city fighting, urban fighting, but no, that's crazy.
Crazy.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
1964.
There when St. Louis celebrated.
Kenny Boyer, the batter. The Cardinals with their best opportunity. Bases loaded. 1 out. Boyer, who led the major leagues in runs batted in this year. There's a drive way back. It might be. It could be. It is a home run. Kenny Boyer, a long-time due in this World Series, just became the 9th player to hit a grand slammer. He hit a changeup.
The day is one to remember in the city of St. Louis. The Cardinals are world champions.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
Do you have a dark curiosity? Heart Starts Pounding, Horrors, Hauntings, and Mysteries is a weekly podcast hosted by me, Kaylin Moore. Each week, I'll take you on a dark journey through terrifying true urban legends, bizarre true crime cases, chilling tales of backwoods horror, and more. So if you're looking to join a passionate community of the darkly curious, Check out Heart Starts Pounding on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, stay curious.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com during the Genesis Signature event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
After a disaster, emotional recovery takes time. Show Me Hope Missouri offers free, confidential support wherever you are. Call or text 1-800-985-5990 and connect with a local crisis counselor today. From Missouri Department of Mental Health.
This is Scott Bakula. Congratulations, KMOX, on an amazing 100 years. And thanks for always being a voice we could count on.
Welcome back, DGS. Okay, pretty short segment, but briefly, I saw something else really interesting over the weekend I want to share with you guys. Sean Ryan was interviewing one of the operators from SEAL Team 6 that killed bin Laden. This guy, I think his name is Bissonette. I think his pen name is Owen. He wrote No Easy Day, got sued by the federal government. They took a bunch of his money. Anyway, he tells the story of them taking out bin Laden. And Rob O'Neill is the famous SEAL Team 6 guy who takes credit for it. He took a lot of crap from operators because you don't take credit for stuff.
Right.
And this guy kind of, I don't think he killed bin Laden. I think it was this other guy.
Really?
But it was so fascinating that, and let's just take this first. One of the choppers crashed.
Yeah.
And Sean Ryan says, why did it crash? And he said, whether this is true or not, he said, we were supposed to go on this day, but it was the correspondence dinner. And President Obama asked us to wait till the next day. The next day was 8 degrees warmer, and the flight characteristics were off, and that's why they crashed, which sucks, right? But he said they got to the front door, and he was crouched down, setting a explosive to blow the door, and shots came through at his, what would have been his head level. So that's the first thing. And they get in, there's a guy, they pop him. They had heard that bin Laden's son, Khalid, lived on the second floor. And they see a shadow. And he said, the most brilliant thing I've ever seen a special operator do is one of his partners said Khalid's name, but he whispered it.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant.
They show that in Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
remember
Chris Pratt
that.
doing it in the movie.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
But he says, Khalid.
Yeah.
And Khalid pops his head out,
Yep.
and they shoot him.
Yep.
And they get up to the third floor, and turns out to be bin Laden, whose their info was he was on the third floor. the head poke out again, just his head. Rob O'Neill says he shot him. This guy says another guy shot him. But anyway, he gets shot in the head. They enter the room. Bin Laden's lying there, shot in the head, still twitching. This guy puts 2 in his body. There are 2 women in there. They shove them into the corner, make sure they don't have suicide vests on or anything like that. I thought one of the most kind of goofy things was that they all had pictures of Bin Laden and they had been aged. So he had gray hair and a gray beard, but this guy had totally black hair and a black beard. And when they got into his bathroom, he had just for men beard stuff that he had been using. Is that crazy? Just like
you think like as a disguise?
Either that or vanity, who knows?
Yeah.
But isn't that crazy? Just like that happened.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It looks so natural, no one can tell.
And
What I
he said when this guy personally drug Bin Laden down the stairs and he dragged him by his ankles. And this is a little gross, I apologize. But he said, I'll never forget the sound of his hollow skull bouncing off the stairs. Yee. It's yee, but it's also kind of cool, right? I mean, it's like Bin Laden.
Got the guy.
So the other guy, he's saying the other guy is lying then.
So as I understand it, they'll never know who shot him first.
Yeah.
But Rob O'Neill says that this other guy missed and that he didn't. But this guy says, no, he didn't miss. He shot him in
and
the
the
head.
other guy is following the code.
Yes.
And not saying anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Really interesting, though. I'll tell you guys about Zero Res. As you know, every month they have a new deal for you. This month is 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139, $50 off your air duct cleaning. I'm going to guess that if you need your carpets cleaned right now, you're a little less worried about saving $10 here or there. It's more like, can you get in here by Thanksgiving? Can you get in here by Christmas? Can you get into my business by the end of the year so I can write this off on my CapEx expenses? The answer to the latter 2 questions are 100%. Can they get there by Thanksgiving? I don't know. Try playing the DGS card. Maybe, kind of doubtful. But they do a great job. They came in here last week, the day before our 100th anniversary broadcast, and they cleaned the walls. I think the guys will agree, just such a huge improvement. They can pretty much clean anything. Wall-to-wall carpeting, area rugs, couches, chairs, air ducts, dryer vents. Just give them a call at 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
On KMOX Day, the legends came home, sharing memories, moments, and the magic that made KMOX a national powerhouse.
KMOX pioneer Bob Costas.
I'm proud to be connected in any way to KMOX.
Frank Absher, thank you for being here.
I'm glad to be back.
The great Charlie Brennan, welcome back.
A lot of memories today. Wendy Weiss is back on KMOX, folks.
It's been a while.
We've collected more than 10 hours of incredible conversations from your favorite voices. Relive this celebration now, only at KMOX.com.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we got some issues in the Maryland Heights, Pattonville area, the hot corner there on 270 and 70. North 270, just before 70, there's a crash in the 70 exit lane. That's the second lane from the right. So North 270, the right lanes are jammed back to Dorset. And then there's a crash in the left lane, westbound 70, just west of 270. And that has traffic backed up to about air flight. So tough going in that area there. North 270 and westbound 70, where they sort of merge together, crashes on both those highways. South 270, 364 down to Ladue, from 64 down through Manchester, busy. South of 44 down through Gravois, Chestnut Ferry, it's a little off the pace. Westbound 64, Science Center, out through McCausland's heavy, it's slow. Lindbergh to 270, and then Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70. Eastbound 64, Mason into 270 is kind of slow. Southbound 270, a pretty solid backup south of Arsenal through Bates, but it looks good through Jefferson County. Illinois interstates look good with the exception of eastbound 5570 or jammed approaching 255 through 157. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival of Trees.
Hello, everyone. I want to invite you to the Moolah Festival of Trees. Come see over 40 of the best decorated trees you'll ever see. Adult tickets are only $2 and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
This holiday, give the gift that lasts all season long. Cardinals ticket packs are on sale now, starting at 5, 6, and 10 games. All packs include 2026's top games and favorite giveaways. Backed by popular demand, choose from the opening day pack or the bobblehead pack. Check out the Cubs pack, weekend pack, or apparel pack. There's a pack for everyone. Find your perfect gift right now at cardinals.com/tickets.
The holidays come and go, but Cardinals baseball lasts all season long. This year, give the gift of all-inclusive tickets, featuring a full buffet, complimentary bar, and unbeatable views at Busch Stadium. Enjoy great food, good times, and every moment of the action. Choose your experience in the Budweiser 703 Club, UMB Champions Club, Coca-Cola Scoreboard Patio, and more. Make your holidays brighter with all-inclusive tickets, on sale now at cardinals.com/tickets.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. A few minutes past 3:30. No one says a few minutes past 3:30. I just totally made something up. 3:34. Time for Dave Murray. Brought to you by the Saliga Heating and Cooling Desk. Dave, I understand we had a little trouble.
We are.
Yeah.
I want to give you some good news first.
Okay.
Winter forecast we did last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Have over 200,000 hits right now.
Get out.
Yeah.
That's a record.
Awesome.
Damn.
Yeah, no, that's by far a record. That does not include what KMOX is bringing in.
So cool.
It's posted there too.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. We got the bad news now.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Well, last Thursday, it was pouring rain here, and Janice slipped on the front step and landed on her, like we all do. You don't want to land on your head. And so you do something with your body in a split second. She landed on her left elbow, and it is shattered. It is absolutely shattered. She could move it a lot on Thursday, so we did not go to the emergency room. But Friday woke up, it was all swollen. It was hurting more. So we went to the emergency room, and sure enough, I mean, I'm not a trained doctor, but I can look at an x-ray and go, that's the problem. And so she didn't want to get operated right away. There was no super rush. There's a rush, but no super rush. And so she wanted to talk to our orthopedic guy and get all the, everything in a row, ducks in a row. And so we saw a guy who specializes in this surgery, and it's a trauma surgery. And so surgery is tomorrow at at about 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's going to be 2, maybe 3 hour surgery.
Do they put plates in and screws and stuff?
Yeah, screws and yes to that. And we talked about elbow replacement, and this guy goes, "You do not want to do that."
Oh.
And first of all, it's not. It doesn't warrant it. But he goes, "You will not like me at all after a replacement type surgery."
Yeah.
So it's just something we don't do very much. We do it, but he said you wouldn't be able to lift 10 pounds anymore.
Oh.
And he said as you age and you might need a walker at some point, you would not be able to use a walker because you won't be able to put
Can't
any
bear
weight
the
on
weight.
your left.
Wow.
Right, exactly. I mean, we really like this guy. I mean, really good. I mean, he was like, "It's time. We got to do it, and we're going to do it." It's tomorrow. We're doing it tomorrow.
Damn.
So we got EKG done today. Got to get a blood test done today. All that kind of stuff.
You guys have had a year.
Man, you're not kidding.
Yeah, we really have. It's been all fun and roses.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
If by roses you mean broken bones.
Yeah,
God almighty.
that's right.
So
That's funny. Yesterday, Janice goes, "Okay, here's the list for Thanksgiving." And it's still a trooper. I mean, absolute trooper.
Yeah.
And so I went off to the store, got everything. She goes, "You're going to have to do most of this work." And I was like, "Really? I didn't realize that at all. You can't lift a 12-pound turkey into the oven? What do you mean?"
So the family coming in?
No, they are not.
Okay.
They're actually in St. Louis right now. And but they're coming out around Christmas time. So
Okay.
it's fine. I mean, we'll be fine. We're going to get through this just fine.
Did you find her on the porch after she fell?
Yes, actually, our neighbors did because they heard her.
Oh.
And I was in the kitchen, and Adrian, who lives across the street, was banging on the door saying, "Get out here, Dave."
God, it must have hurt.
Yeah, what you looked at it and you knew it was bad. But at it's funny, at the surgeon's office today, he pulled up we had a CT scan and we had an X-ray from the emergency room, and he goes, "Okay, see these fragments here? We got to take care of that." He said, "I actually go in and put those fragments back together again like a jigsaw puzzle." But he said, "See this part? That goes here.
Oh.
See this part? That goes here. See this part? That goes here." I was like, "Oh, man."
Oh, that sounds bad.
Yeah, that sounds like the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about not liking me. My daughter Phoebe has lots of like sinus issues and tonsil issues, and she got sick at KU. And Dr. Knoyer, my buddy, my ENT is her doctor. And I texted him. I'm like, "Hey, I think it's time to take the tonsils out." And he said, "I'll see her and we can do it, but let's do everything we can to avoid it." He said the pain, he said, everything I do in my office is so cutting edge tech except for that. He said, we're still in the 1950s with tonsils. So, yeah, he's like, she'll be in so much pain. She will not like me. So, did you guys live in fear of having your tonsils out as a kid?
Not live in fear, but I've always been really nervous to go under and I've never had to do it so far in my life.
Yeah.
But it really, that freaks me out to think of.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very traumatic experience.
Yeah.
I was young, but I could go, I was at the age where you could go trick or treating. And I was young enough that I wasn't paying any attention to the calendar or anything. And my folks said, "No, you can go have this surgery, have your tonsils out on October 30th, and you'll be able to trick or treat on the 31st.
What?
I went, "Okay, great. Well, it turned out that the surgery was on the 31st. I mean, this is one of the very few moments my parents really deceived me. and I was probably 6, 7 years old. I'm 72 now. I still remember it like it was yesterday.
I bet. I remember I had a lot of dental work when I was a kid. My mouth is tiny with big jowls like a Cabbage Patch Kid. And I'd have a lot of teeth pulled. And I was terrified of the dentist. And I asked my mom, "It's just a checkup." She said, "Yes, it's just a checkup." "You swear?" "I swear." I sit in the chair. They pull the tissue off of the tray that has all the implements, and it looked like they were building a cyborg. And I got four teeth pulled that day. And I never quite looked at my mom the same again. You know, it's one of those things you're just I didn't know you were even capable
You're
of lying.
outside the circle of trust.
Yeah. So, Dave, a couple of rainy days?
No, not really. It comes in tonight. There's some light rain around right now. It's not much, but we're going to see some light rain tonight, some areas of fog. So there's going to be drizzle around. Most of that should be out of the picture first thing in the morning tomorrow, but a lot of clouds on Tuesday. Little bit of sun, I think, peaks out. Tomorrow is the warmest day, but I want to stress it's not a heat wave. We'll be in the 50s, maybe 60 degrees downtown. Cold front, Arctic cold front comes through on Tuesday night. No moisture with it, but it's going to be windy and colder, partly cloudy skies. 37 on Tuesday night. Wednesday, sunny, windy, chilly, dry day. 46, but feels colder. 29 Wednesday night. Thursday, Thanksgiving, sunny skies, 45. So, yeah, it's cold, but it's nothing weird. Then Friday, partly sunny, 41. Now, Friday night and Saturday, another system comes in. I'm thinking mainly late Friday night. We're going to see a bubble of moisture come across us. It's going to be mainly rain, but there could be some wet snow mixed in, and there could be what I like to call these large hamster-sized snowflakes. That would be late Friday night, Saturday morning. And then primarily Saturday during the day, it's rain, 42. Sunday, it's mainly going to be rain at about 46 degrees. So we could see some wet snow anyway, late Friday night, Saturday morning. Could it be enough to cover the grass? Maybe. At this point. It's only Monday. Come on, cut me some slack here. But you're going to start to hear wild stuff.
Okay.
It's just, unfortunately, it's just the way of social media, right?
Yeah. I got you.
Anybody can put out anything.
How cold is Wheeler going to be in Chicago?
Very.
Yeah, and expect some snow up there, accumulating snow. But that's,
it's okay as long as it's not on driving day.
Your highs will be in the 30s and lows in the low 20s.
When
That's for Chicago. Listen, everybody.
Yeah, not St. Louis. That's Chicago.
When are you driving back, Wheels?
Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll be driving back in some snow.
Damn it.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned that anyone can put something out on social media. I'm wondering, have you ever noticed anyone on Facebook or any other platform who's giving a forecast or something, and then you look at their account and you go, I don't think this person is a meteorologist?
Well, you kind of know. You know almost automatically
Mhm.
that they're just pulling stuff out of their rear end.
But have you seen that a lot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I actually saw it last week because even though, yes, we're getting colder Tuesday night and for the bulk of the Thanksgiving weekend, there were people saying, oh, it's going to be, like below zero for high temperatures and just brutal cold over 80% of the nation, going all the way down to Florida and all this stuff. And it's like, what in the world are you looking at? What are you looking at? I don't know.
Yeah, I was watching a TikTok the other day, and this person was making sense, and their name was Dr. So-and-so PhD, and I thought, well, all he did was type that in, right? I mean, you really don't know.
You don't have no idea at all.
You know how I always make that joke about doctors? Maybe their first name's Doctor. I was watching the Death by Lightning about James Garfield, and basically his doctor killed him because he didn't know about germs. And he didn't disinfect anything and had his hands and his implements all up in his back. And his first name was Doctor.
All right.
Isn't that crazy? Doctor.
I mean, that's one way for your parents to just kind of make that decision for you.
His die was cast. Well, Dave, all of our thoughts are with you and Janice, and hang in there, and hopefully everything goes well.
I will. I won't be with you live tomorrow because surgery will be taking place, but I'll be updating you and I'll keep you up to date. Rachel, I'll send you some text.
All right, thanks. Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report is a service of the United States Air Force Band of Mid-America Holiday Concerts. They cleared that crash just a minute ago over to the right shoulder, northbound 270 at 70. Traffic in the right lane, so a solid jam back through Dorset. They are still working the crash that's in the left lane. That's the one that's westbound 70 west to 270. So traffic is stop and go from west of Air Flight. In fact, it looks like there may be an incident west of Lindbergh. It opens up a little bit, and then it bogs down again. And eastbound 70, by the way, is heavy coming through our city, looking at that westbound wreck since it's in the left lane. South 270, south of 364, all the way down to about Big Bend is slow after that, not so bad. South 170 bogs down at Ladue. Westbound 64 Kings Highway, headed out through Bellevue, slow. Lindbergh to 270, a little busy in 94 through K, approaching Winghaven. And then there's pockets from 364 out to Highway 70. By the way, 70 in the Westplex, K to Bryan Road, and 61 through Z is a little slow. 44 kind of heavy both ways as you approach the 270 interchange. Southbound 55 from Gravois down to Bates, bumper to bumper, and there's a little backup at Highway Z as well. I'm Roger Brand in the Michael's Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Get into the spirit of the season with free holiday concerts by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America, December 6th through 12th. Get free tickets and locations at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet, 25 years together. I'm not sure that anyone has ever beat that. Having a client running that long, that successfully. It's all about Mike. It's not about me. All I do is deliver the message. Mike is just a cool guy. He really is. Super into rock and roll, super into Kiss. I met Ace Frehley with him one time. He's a good dude. I remember when I first met him and he said, look, here's the deal. I wasn't going to be a doctor. I wasn't going to be a lawyer. I wanted to go into a business that was simple. And he said, Dave, the flooring business is simple. I buy it at this much. I mark it up. I sell it to you at that much. There's, this many major lines. There are this many, lines within them, the budget, the entry, the middle, the high end. And it's not that difficult. So I don't make it difficult on people. I make it really, really simple. So if you like simple, if you like saving money, if you like getting good products, you can't do better than Michael's Flooring Outlet. Find him at michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign or to make an online donation, head to KMOX.com/events.
Schnucks has been lowering prices all across the store, basically all of 2025, and they just did it again, lowered the prices on hundreds more items around the store. Stuff like Campbell's Chunky Soup, Oscar Mayer Lunchables, those are two just great, easy, affordable lunch options for you or maybe the kids. And then some staples like Schnucks shredded cheese, Pillsbury Grand biscuits. These are really popular items and they're not on sale. They have lowered the prices permanently so you can save money on them every single time you shop. So stop by your local Schnucks to find out what else just got a new lower price. Just check out those digital shelf tags around the store to find tons more items. And make sure you're using your Schnucks Rewards app when you shop. There's so many great benefits. But to me, the best part is you earn 2% cash back on every single thing you purchase. That saves you a ton of money over time. So with these new lower prices and with your Schnucks Rewards app, those are everyday savings you can count on when you shop at Schnucks.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Welcome back, DGS 351. Skip Weber on his way in, going to do the Sweet 16 of fictional lawyers, which we've never done 25 years. Shocking. It's hard to find those. You know what I was thinking about?
What's that?
You know how I think.
You're always thinking.
Always thinking. That's why I don't work. Over the course of my life, Wheels, if anyone's going to get this, it's you. Of all the things I've done, all the cool S I've been able to do, and things I've accomplished, if I died and God or the Wizard Tribunal said, like, what was your absolute favorite thing? Absolute favorite. You know what mine would be? Putting my kids to bed. When my kids were little and cuddly and they'd fall asleep in your arms and you put them to bed, I think that's the favorite thing I've ever done. So sweet. And you know what sucks now? Nick won't let me do it.
I mean,
He's so selfish.
I've asked him
you just got to get him on the right day.
nicely. But that like
Read you mind.
More than the show, more than other relationships, more than all my friendships, holding my kids, putting them in a crib, that's probably the pinnacle of my life.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Especially when if you like do the double nap where they're napping on you and you nap too. That's pretty cool.
Well, we slept Japanese with Phoebe for like 10 years. So
I don't know what that means.
Where'd they sleep with you?
Oh, good Lord.
Which was great.
Was it?
Oh, we all loved it.
For real?
For real.
That seems awful.
No, it was fantastic.
Not because it's your kid, just any kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been weird if you and Susan did it with Phoebe, but yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm like missing out on something by not having kids, but then I'm like,
Well, you know me. I'm very honest about it. You are 1,000,000% missing out on amazing things.
But there's also a lot of other stuff to do.
There's also a lot of other stuff to do. Yeah.
I mean, it's work. There's just no other way around it.
There's a lot of work and a lot of responsibility.
I'm never going to be one of those people who looks at people who didn't have kids by choice or just the way nature worked out and be like, oh, you just don't know happiness. You do.
No, it's
happiness.
Exactly.
You just don't know what it's like to have the happiness of a child.
Yeah. It's a different thing, and it comes at a price that is not it's not a subtraction from your life. Like, you're not losing something to have that, but you are going to work for it.
Oh,
I mean, you're going to work. That's what those two things go hand in hand. Yes, you have all the greatness of it, and then you also have exploding diapers and sleepless nights, and
what are the bad parts?
That's not even for me. That's for the kid, let alone the effect on you.
So funny. Do you guys have anything like that in your young lives without kids that you'd go like, you know what my favorite thing was? Might seem weird, but it's this.
I do, and this feels like something that somebody that does not have kids would say. I do feel a connection with my cat, right? Like that's been something special.
That's your little baby.
Yeah, that's my first real pet that it's been my own, that I adopted and took care of. You know what I mean? Raised.
Well, it's been like a third of your life too.
Yeah, been a while.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
There is nothing like watching Thanksgiving football, but for football fans in Missouri, this year FanDuel is about to make it even better. With points giving, all FanDuel customers in Missouri get $1 in bonus bets for every point scored in the Chiefs-Cowboys game. So, for example, if the final score is 24-21, you'd get $45 in bonus bets. Doesn't matter if you've already signed up for FanDuel or if you've been waiting for the right moment to join. Just head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get in on the action in Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri to score bonus bets for every point in the Chiefs-Cowboys game. Enjoy a football feast with points giving on FanDuel, coming soon to Missouri. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This month's Seidman Cancer Center Spotlight, Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, Dr. Rohina Pani.
One thing that's important to remember is if you're concerned and you identify some family history, which typically means first-degree relatives and other risk factors for this disease, talk to your doctor about your family history, and they can then refer you to centers that specialize in those screening programs like Seidman Cancer Center.
Seidman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit seidman.wustl.edu.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, they called out EMS for an accident with injuries on eastbound 70 at Jennings Station. It's on the ramp, but there's debris in the left lane, so the left lane is closed. Hopefully the debris can be picked up quickly. Just a little bit of a delay coming through the area on eastbound 70 right now. Westbound 70, they also cleared that crash we had west of 270. Traffic still bogged down, though, from the airport all the way out into that area. North 270 is back on the go from the earlier